Mr. Sonic, but it sounds like you need help.
Everything's terrible. Santa retired.
Santa retired?
Yeah, and he put Robotnik Claus in his place. And Robotnik Claus sent me to a robot factory. And I escaped.
Did you say Santa put Robotnik Claus in his place?
Yes, and you've got to find Santa and tell him how wrong he was.
True. Aiming down the sight is always preferable to not aiming down the sight. That is the word of wisdom I'm giving right off the bat for TalkRadar 82. The last podcast before Christmas.
Rice. I said rice.
Rice?
Rice. Mass Effect.
Rice.
I think I'm hungry.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, everybody.
That's next week.
No, but whatever, we may,
It's our last...
We're not going to be here next week.
It's true.
But we will have a podcast for you.
Oh, what a treat you're in for next.
Don't spoil anything.
No, I'm not going to spoil anything.
But it's awesome.
It is a darn treat, and if you've listened all year, you're going to love it. And if you think there's someone you were thinking about maybe sharing TalkRadar with, next week's will be the one to do it.
Tune in for Henry Gilbert's Crimboween Spectacular.
Crimboween. Henry Gilbert celebrates Crimboween in his red and green dashiki. I'm Chris.
I'm Michael Raparos.
I am Brett Elston.
And Tyler Wilde.
All right, before we get into anything, I need to plug this very quickly. I didn't do it last week. I'm plugging thespeedgamers.com. They're having a marathon to collect all 493 Pokemon in a period of 2 days.
Wow.
Taking donations to benefit Allie's House, an Oklahoma charity to benefit children with cancer and their families. Benefit this time. This isn't to promote cancer.
Right.
I want to make sure that's clear. TheSpeedGamers.com has more information. Check that out.
That's quite a damn feat. Collect all 493 Pokemans?
Yes.
Especially since some of them aren't legally available in the U.S. yet.
The games that are being played: Fire Red, Leaf Green, Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Ruby, Sapphire, Diamond, and Pearl.
Wow. Heart Gold and Soul Silver just came out in Japan.
You think I don't know this?
I know you do. I know I could have said anything there, and you would have said, you think I don't know this?
You could have named anything with one syllable. Pokemon Rock? Yeah.
Have you played Pokemon Gort?
Pokemon Gort.
See, I just come to assume that you people are making up these titles.
Yeah, it's Johnny Walker labels. But
this week
on Games Radar,
what do we got in the whole show here?
Man, we got a mighty fine bunch of stuff for everybody this week. We're going to talk about the VGAs in a little bit. What? All right, hold on.
I know.
Don't get mad at the Vidges.
I will.
As they're calling them.
That bad.
We'll get to that.
You never saw the one with David Spade.
That's the thing. They were better.
Yeah, you do.
No, I don't. Not my argument. You'll see.
Okay. Game deals announcing winners to Harry Potter and Hangover. But what do we do every week at GamesRadar.com?
Well, we talk about 7 things.
Mm-hmm. Elston. Big time.
I'm really good at this.
The top 7.
Damn it!
7 of the top things.
Technically, that's correct.
And what is it this week? I'll tell you what it was. A hard one to find audio for.
The top 7 games based on books.
On books.
And I really like this top 7 because we write a lot of articles on the Games Radar, and a lot of them are like, I think we've seen that idea before maybe, or maybe we haven't seen this angle, or there's always this kind of gray area of like, has anyone done this? I don't think so. And this was one I'm pretty sure I haven't seen this list before.
And there's one on this list, games based on books, and there was nothing else based on the book. Not a movie, not a show, not an audio book, just this game. And I was really pissed because the title of the game sounded like it would lend to great audio.
Yeah.
Fuck the ZX Spectrum.
Written by Carolyn Goodmanson.
Who
declined to appear on the podcast, but I
was my girlfriend and
and mine too.
If I told you about my girlfriend Heidi.
Stop it.
What?
Talk about HD.
Or Tyler's wife, Diana.
I couldn't think of any good audio, so
it's
just
wife swap day.
To introduce the top 7 great games based off books, I present to you OG Readmore.
Hey.
I'm Captain O.G. Readmore.
Wow. That audio.
Be the book to today, I
Is he, like, buried alive?
I'll be more too.
They're alive just somewhere in the 80s.
He's buried in 1982.
He's a cat who used to sing to us on Saturday morning about reading.
I remember.
Dressed like a shitty ship's captain.
A shitty ship's captain.
I just love that he's OG Read More.
He's updated now. He's Captain OG Read Some Mo.
Reads a lot.
Read some Mo.
Number 7. Games
Hold on. I
based...
didn't feel it go over very well.
Okay.
You go ahead. I want you to say the title. Yeah.
The top 7 games based on books.
Perfect.
And that was canceled.
Soporific unenthusiasm.
And guess what was canceled this year? Because no one reads books anymore. Number 7 is Dune.
Dune.
From 1992, which was a... the first one is this weird, like, first-person... like just static images thing that you kind of move through, and if you've read Dune or seen the movie or whatever, it's you kind of control all these sieges on this planet and you micromanage all this stuff. It had a lot of like resource management stuff, which ultimately led to Dune 2, which was the big game because that, from what I understand, pioneered the RTS as we know it.
And I read this entry from Carolyn, and I meant to tell her I didn't understand a fucking thing she said. It is so. Is she Carolyn clearly knows Dune?
Oh, Dune, yeah. She's ready
so well.
She knows a lot about Dune, but I mean, I've read all of these as well, and I mean,
all of that language was foreign to me.
Yeah, Siege and the Fremen army and the Harkonnens and come on. What you should never do is watch the 1984 David Lynch movie. It's the dumbest adaptation.
Have you seen both versions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Any adaptation based on that is like the exact opposite of what that movie should have been.
Really?
In almost every measurable way.
Well, I tried to watch the sci-fi version. It was terrible.
That's a good adaptation with no budget and no acting.
Sounds like an accurate adaptation.
I think what you mean, a faithful adaptation.
Yeah, it's
rather
faithful.
Than a good one.
Yeah, it's a faithful adaptation.
See the brushstroke
oh
on
god,
the background.
The sci-fi one is.
This is a desert.
It's accurate but horrible, whereas the 84 movie is horribly inaccurate.
But it has Sting and a Speedo.
It has Sting and a Speedo. It has Patrick Stewart with a dog wrapped around his chest.
Really?
Yes.
Engage.
I bought the sci-fi version on video when it came out in like 2001 and have not watched it ever.
I've watched it and it's not very good.
Apparently, the second one, Children of Dune, is okay.
I've watched that as well. Not great.
Is it better?
Friends
love that one. They didn't like the first one.
I don't think it's any better or worse. Anyway, Dune.
Dune got a brief audio clip.
Spice is the most precious substance.
It is.
It can be found only on one planet
Arrakis.
in the whole universe. That planet is Arrakis.
God. What's really cool about Dune, though, and I tweeted this on the Twitter at Brelston. The soundtrack to this game is very goddamn good. So if you YouTube Dune,
it's exceptional. You can hear it right now.
Yeah. If you tweet, it's like Dune official soundtrack. It has a name like Exos, EXXOS, or something like that. Very good background music, and I don't know. That's Dune. It's pretty well good adaptation to the book. It follows the guts of it, but like trying to think of another book that's similar. Like no game could ever really. The book is too dense and has too much. It's something almost like
just Lord of the Rings.
Similar, except this doesn't even have like Lord of the Rings. At least has key battles and amazing villains. And Dune is like a political thriller set in space with a huge amount of sci-fi going on underneath. It's really strange, but it's a great book. If you haven't read Dune or the other Frank Herbert Dunes, don't read any of the other shit. They're very good. Number 6.
Number 6 on what?
The top 7 games based on books. What is LeVar Burton going to do?
I don't know, but in finding these audio clips, I found something that blew Carolyn's mind, which was Reading Rainbow starting, and then it's LeVar Burton on the Star Trek set. Yeah. I'd never seen that.
Yeah,
it was a very weird crossover.
It's a popular episode.
According to YouTube, 20,000 views. I thought I discovered it.
I remembered it from as a kid, like that he was on there. And here's how we make the show.
Yeah, I just, I hadn't seen Next Generation when I was watching Reading Rainbow. They did not cross over. I don't know how they did with you. I was in your teens.
I was alive.
You were watching Reading Rainbow?
It was during the first season. It was 87.
87?
I would have been
Let's
6.
Move on. Date Master.
Speaking of 86, number 6 is How to Be a Complete Bastard.
This is the one that made me... It has a fart-o-meter in the game.
In the game.
And a Wii-O-meter with 3 E's.
It's Weometer.
Weometer, based on a book by comedian Abe Edmondson. Aid?
Yes, short for Adrian.
Adrian.
And you're scored on a bastard points.
Bastard points. This should have great audio. It's a silent game.
Yeah, if anyone's ever watched The Young Ones, Abe Edmondson plays Vivian. So
that's him, Adrian?
Yes. Adrian Edmondson. He has a girl's name in real life, too.
He wrote that? I love that guy.
Yeah. He's awesome. I was just amazed. He writes books?
You just used him in a feature, didn't you?
I did, in the Worst Box, which you can read now on GamesRadar.com.
Vivian. I love Vivian. Yep. Is that it? No?
Yeah, I don't know anything about the book. It's a ZX Spectrum and also on the Amstrad.
We were talking about that these games are always done all the justice that's needed in screenshots.
Yeah.
Because they literally tell you what you're doing on screen because you have to select your action usually.
Yeah, and like
apparently you're trying to ruin a party.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're just trying to be a dick to people basically, and you're scored on your drunkometer, smellometer, fartometer, Wii-O-meter, and at all times it says how to be a complete bastard on the bottom of the screen.
The London Times called it a right waffle about.
Of course they did.
Yeah, she included the quotes. It's been called crass, tasteless, and juvenile from the magazine Sinclair User. Sure, it was
like the gas station.
No, that was a system.
Yeah. Kidding?
No. Did you know that was a console?
I did.
Yes.
And they
also made my family's shitty first computer that crashed whenever you nudged it.
There's a Spanish quote here,
That's why
and I can't read it. So if Michael could translate.
Es una programa que incorpora una serie de características totalmente innovadoras. I think it's a program that incorporates a series of characteristics totally innovative.
You just got
himself.
Moving on, number 5 is The Witcher.
The Witcher,
which is I didn't know was based on a book, and it's actually based on a series of untranslated. What is it? What country is it?
Tomes.
Polish, isn't it?
Is it Polish? Yeah.
The Moldovan.
Did anyone play The Witcher?
I played it for 5 minutes. And
how were those 5 minutes?
They were pretty good.
Did you?
I just got sleepy and was like, "Oh, I'll finish this later." And that never happened.
Then he fell asleep under a stack of unopened games.
I did. Yeah. I was crushed to death. Actually, it was horrible.
Oh, thank God.
Talking to you through the spirit world now.
For some reason, the name of that game just makes me think of like a 16-year-old girl with black hair going, "I'm gonna witch you. I'm the Witcher."
He just got witched.
The Witcher.
Yeah.
Sequel
like
to The Craft.
Around high school, witching people.
Penny Arcade made fun of that like 6 years ago. It's like, this is not a verb, or it's not a noun. You can't witch something.
You just did.
You just did.
Well, it's not a verb.
Just saying, I got a sword. I done witched you.
Love that.
Yep.
Grammar Nazis have such a problem with word derivation. You can't make a word out of it. I just did.
I just did,
and everybody understood it.
That's part of that's part of the reason why English is always like a notoriously hard language to learn, because
the
way it's structured, you can fuck with everything, and even if like that's not a verb, you can't witch something. I just did. You add er.
In France, you get shot.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Actually, you get slapped on the wrist.
You do.
It's a very weak
with
slap.
a wet baguette. Very embarrassing.
That was your chance to have Bonsoir tell us how they do it in France.
Yeah, brother. I don't.
Ooh, I know the biggerer. I just turned an adjective into a noun that is based on a verb.
Bigger. I just used the word terror, like George W. Bush, with no vowels. T, triple, quadruple R.
Triple, quadruple R, so there's 12 R?
Ter.
Yes.
Try it. Say it like it's fun.
Ter.
I know.
Ter.
Yeah.
It sounds like a planet in the Dagobah system.
Going to planet Terror.
Oh, man.
Oh, that was hilarious.
I miss him.
Yeah.
Number 4.
Man.
Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Another one with no audio whatsoever.
But there was that movie.
I'm aware of that. But
tell me about the...
I wasn't a big fan of the movie.
I didn't see it.
Nobody was.
I'm talking through a gas can.
Wow.
And I did
Did
like...
you enjoy the radio show?
I did enjoy the radio show, and I did enjoy the book.
I enjoyed the books and the game briefly, until I got stuck, because I was playing it as a kid.
I've never read the book.
Mm-hmm.
So is it still something that's funny now, or if I've missed it up to this point, should I bother?
I'm a giant humor fan.
Right. That sounds funny.
Not a fan so much of like Monty Python for the reason that it's just wall-to-wall silliness.
Right.
And it has no foundation in anything other than, like, that's not supposed to be that way. That's Hitchhikers. It is rampant, but it all kind of ties into itself, so if you're willing to...
It's very dryly clever.
It's very clever.
And most of the humor comes from just the little, his writing style, and that's one of the reasons that movie fails. Another reason is because they completely bastardize everything.
Yes.
Although if you really want to watch a good adaptation, I recommend watching the BBC TV series.
Yeah. That shit is bizarre.
It's good.
You're not even paying attention.
I am too.
Oh, okay.
I've seen that thing. I love Hitchhikers. I love my Douglas Adams.
But it made the list, and it made it up so high because this is the only game in the list that was actually written by the original author.
Yes.
And he actually wrote...
It's like the last thing he did before he died, right?
No.
Hope so.
No?
No, he did a bunch of stuff. This was like, 84? Yeah, he died in like the mid to late 90s, I think.
I thought he died.
No, he did like Last Chance to See. That was like a CD-ROM that came out in the early 90s.
My mistake, somebody got biggity bam.
But she also points out in this that it's a text adventure, so Charlie could probably talk better about this, but it's a text adventure where it's just a black screen and it's like look thing, view thing. It's like
how do I open the door? And I think the line was you figure it out.
Yeah, and it's like purposely rude and just belligerent to the user, and people are like, it's so clever and funny because it hates you, and it's like, you just hate yourself secretly and you need a game to yell at you.
He also wrote another Infocom game called Bureaucracy that hates you even more.
All right, well, I'll make one that hates you even
like
more
the
than
whole
that.
Point.
I don't have any more of these written down. I didn't take great notes. What's next?
Number three is Parasite Eve.
What is the top 7?
Top 7 games based on books. Except a paid actress in a show that's on the air.
Aw, Elson. Engage. Call off the dogs. On LeVar.
You can't put these dogs back in that cage.
My dogs are barking now.
The Nard puppy. Watching a lot of Office.
Get that user while it's hot. The username while it's hot. Nard puppy.
It's an Office joke.
Is it?
Yeah, because anyway, number 3 is Parasite Eve, which I didn't know was based on a book. And then while I was researching the top 7 tasteful heroines,
Tasty
heroines.
Cocaine.
Tasty women
Quaaludes.
with guns.
Tasteful video game ladies.
Heroining.
Mainlining
The
heroin.
Witching. All right.
Heroin,
I found out Parasite Eve, the first game for PS1, was based off of a book from 1995, and even though it's not a sequel or retelling of the book, I guess it is actually a sequel. It's not like they adapted the book. It's kind of just a concurrent. They changed some of the events, but it's based on the idea of mitochondria becoming sentient and rising up to make this ultimate being. And that game, I've never played it, but Carolyn loves it and swears by it. And all I've done is watch the videos of the cutscenes, and they make no sense. And they're some of the creepiest, weirdest shit I've ever seen. Like a giant fetus coming up out of the ocean and destroying the Statue of Liberty, and then growing wings and blowing up an aircraft carrier.
It's like symbolic of being in the womb, man.
Right. Except it's a giant fetus destroying the Statue of Liberty.
It's like the ultimate feminist statement. And
well,
it's about the generative power of birth and how it can smash statues.
Don't everybody write a grant at once for my theories or anything.
I'm going to coast on this for 30 years.
Yeah.
Did anybody else play Parasite Eve? Michael?
That baby has 3,000 hit points.
Tell me you played
I
this.
never played it.
Oh, really? Come on.
No.
But he owns 5 copies.
You know what's great is when we have a top 7, none of us have played any of the games on the list.
I have played... Let's keep going so I can figure this
You should
out.
have brought Carolyn in here.
I tried. But no, Parasite Eve, that's a game I would very much like to play. I just feel like I've missed the boat. And if there was a new... Like, if they reskinned it or updated it, I'd probably play it. And what's weird is there's a new one coming out for PSP, and they're not even calling it Parasite Eve.
Really?
It's just called The Third Birthday.
What?
Yeah,
I had no idea.
Yeah, and they announced it a while ago, and it's clearly Parasite Eve 3 because it's...
Is Squaw still involved?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Really?
It's a full-on, this is the sequel to the game, and it's like, why aren't you calling it Parasite Eve? I don't understand
Because
that at
the
all.
Japanese find the word birthday to be terrifying. Which I'm guessing just because one of the Ring movies was subtitled that.
The birthday?
Yeah,
It doesn't even have any
Ring
L's or R's
Zero
in it.
Birthday or something.
Yeah, basically, the plot for both the book and the game are sentient being made of mitochondria named Eve tries to overthrow her human host and create the ultimate being that will make humans obsolete.
You know,
by the way, that's a baby.
Next week is the one you want to tell your friends about, not the one where we talk for 40 minutes about games on books.
Yeah. Number 2, top 7 games based on books.
I don't have it written down.
Is American McGee's Alice. Tyler, you played PC games.
I have played that game.
Yeah, tell me about it.
All the way through. It's pretty fun. I mean, the puzzles are... There's a lot of gameplay. There's a lot of
Here's what I wonder.
It sounds like you totally played this.
I'm guessing you haven't played it recently.
Yeah, I played it a long time ago. I remember, like, individual scenes. I remember the floor falling out from under me, and I'm, like, in space, and I'm like, holy shit.
I wonder how much that kind of atmosphere could translate to now. Because so much of it was based upon, like, a graphical atmosphere.
Yeah,
and now it's really dated.
What's cool about this is it's based on the original work, Adventures in Wonderland. It's not based on Disney thing or whatever. It's like
it looked like it was writing its own story to me.
It takes place after Alice's adventures in Wonderland, and she's grown up.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And she's gone crazy.
It's in her head.
And the whole idea was if Wonderland was always in her head or based on her thoughts or whatever, if she went crazy over the death of her parents, which is what happens, wouldn't Wonderland then become this twisted weirdo place? That's why everything looks the way it does.
That totally explains Return to Oz, too.
And then Tim Burton decided he was going to make that movie and stole this idea
from... The new trailer is fucking nuts.
It's nuts, but it's so like, yeah, Tim Burton, okay. His stick is wearing thin with me.
I thought it was a straight-up adaptation. I was like, I couldn't be more bored by that. All right, you're going to take everything we know about Alice in Wonderland and add spikes to it.
No, the first thing they did was cast a grown woman as the role of Alice, when the whole thing is she's supposed to be a girl, and that's part of why it's scary or weird.
Lewis Carroll was a pedophile for a reason.
Come on.
The word Burton is almost an adjective. This is so Burton.
Dude, let's get this English language on it.
It's so Burton-esque.
Where's the Burtoner?
There can't be enough words, my friend.
It's going to Burton up your game.
Let's move on to number 2. We got to get out of this.
That was number 2, Chris.
Wait, was it numero uno? And I have a feeling Carolyn did not want to reward this with number 1.
Number 1.
Favorite game.
Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, which was the subject of much discussion in our home.
Really?
It's the most successful.
It is. It's easily defensible. The game and the book. The game was being developed, and then somehow I don't remember how.
Tom, you want me to write a book in like an hour? I can do it.
No, it was like he was fresh off being popular from like Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, Clear and Present Danger. A few years passed, but then they're like, we're making this game about shooting and planning and tactical things, and he's like, well, I like writing books about that kind of thing.
Certainly do. I'm obsessed with
So he went and started the book Rainbow Six, which then they finished the game first.
Originally titled Go Skyward Missile. Completely stole that from Mike Nelson. Hope someone gets that.
But the game was finished first and it released, but I think the book did come out first, but the game was finished first, and they just sat on it. So because at the time Tom Clancy's name was bigger than Rainbow Six, and since then, this game coming out, other than it did first person. This was kind of lost over the years, but Rainbow Six was that super detailed shooter.
People played it for a long time.
It was like,
well, it takes a long time to play.
Yeah, it was instead of just a first-person shooter, it was, no, you really are laying out a plan to bust down this door and raid this warehouse or raid this whatever, and you would spend so much time planning the path and failing, and the point was that you had to do it all in one shot. And rather than you just running through shooting everyone and, hey, I win, it was like, no, you have to plan this like you were actually planning an op.
That was the origin of the one shot.
Yeah.
One kill thing.
And it was a really cool thing. And then since then, Rainbow Six has become Rainbow Six Vegas. But it also birthed Ghost Recon. It also birthed Splinter Cell. And it also birthed, don't forget, Hawks and N-War. It started this whole Tom Clancy universe. And now I think most people in the U.S. at least would associate Tom Clancy with the Clancyverse.
I wasn't going to say it.
would associate Tom Clancy more with games than books or movies at this point. Like, it's just been so long.
Wrote a lot of books.
I know, but
just imagining Tom Clancy and Stephen King meeting and just vomiting a stream of books at each other, just colliding in the middle.
Well, it's to the point now where when I went into Walgreens last night and the Splinter Cell Conviction book is on the shelf
already
3 months before the game is out.
I gotta be up on my pre-orders.
Isn't it like a sequel to the book?
It's
or to the game?
I don't know. It's clearly the new looking Sam Fisher, but it's also like, so that literally is Tom Clancy, the guy, and that's what he's writing now. When he used to write movies that starred Harrison Ford.
No, I don't think he writes those spin-off, the game spin-off books. I think he...
It had his name all over it.
They always have his name on it, but if you look, then it has like another author's name down at the bottom.
I love it when that happens.
It's always, Tom Clancy's blah, blah, blah by some nobody.
Right, okay.
So he
by Toni
basically
Morrison.
has professional fan fiction writers publishing books about his shit.
It's like, cartoonists who have a bunch of... assistants that just draw their strips for them.
Or everything ever written about the Star Wars universe, other than the first movie.
Yes, that too. But, you don't see George Lucas's Star Wars by Timothy Zahn.
It's implied, Michael.
Oh, okay.
The Lucasverse. That's the top 7 games based on books.
Whoops. All right, when we get back... Dude, guess what? Fuck new releases. We're going to go straight into Vidges.
The VGA Awards?
Vidges, yo. And a Zelda movie. Who knew?
Oh, God.
And, it's Christmas. Which game character do you think we're going to hear from?
Jingle from Animal Crossing?
No.
Max Payne?
Santa Funk?
Santa Fuck? No.
Funk.
Santa Funk? No. Guess what game character had his own Christmas special?
Hubert.
Not quite. You know what? Let's go
Ace.
to break real quick before Brett guesses.
Donkey Kong.
I'm going to close this out proper.
Charlie Brown.
This is Henry Gilbert saying Happy Holidays and come all ye faithful, joyful and triumphant.
I think it's kind of hot to be wearing these scarves in here.
Well, the scarves are must. You can't go caroling without a scarf. Catch your death.
Man, you were like one of those kids I remember in high school that used to sell the most candy bars for the marching band.
And you'd be president of the swing choir, too.
Definitely.
Thanks, Joe Robinson. Thanks, Tom Servo.
What a kiss up this guy.
Okay, now, if you'll all look at your sheet music, we can rehearse my new song.
You wrote a Christmas song?
Hey, there's no tradition like a new tradition.
Wait a minute, let's have a Patrick Swayze Christmas?
Yeah, based on my favorite movie, Roadhouse.
Come on, what the heck does Patrick Swayze have to do with Christmas?
Hey, you keep Christmas in your way and let me keep it in mine, okay?
Jeez. Come on, sir. It seems like a nice enough sentiment. We can give it a shot. Come on.
All right, okay. 12/8 time, key of A flat major. Cambot, shoot him the tune. Okay, you'll just have to stay with me, everybody, okay? Your parts are written out. Let's have a Patrick Swayze Christmas by Crow T. Robot.
Paul, let's have a Patrick Swayze Christmas?
Right. Hit it, Cambot.
Oh, I start. I get it.
I'm sorry.
Okay, pick it up. Open up your heart and let the Patrick Swayze Christmas in.
We'll gather at the Roadhouse with our next of kin.
Not bad.
And Santa can be our regular Saturday night thing.
We'll decorate a bar stool and gather round and sing. Oh, let's have a Patrick Swayze Christmas this year.
Or we'll tear your throat out and kick you in the ear.
Hold it a Cambot, stop it. Crow, I don't know if I think this is an appropriate sentiment anymore for Christmas.
Hey, what, like a good action sequence don't belong at Christmas?
Well, no, it's just that I've never heard of an action sequence in a Christmas Carol before.
Yeah.
Well, then grab hold of your socks and read on, Joe Robinson.
Okay, pick it up from measure 20, Cambot. Lovely intro, though. Very tasteful.
Thank you.
I like that. It's my way or the highway this Christmas at my bar.
I'll have to smash your kneecaps if you bastards touch my car.
I got the word that Santa has been stealing from the till.
I think that right jolly old elf better make out his will. Oh, let's have a Patrick Swayze Christmas one and all. And this can be the haziest. This can be the laziest. This can be the Swayziest Christmas of them. La 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 la.
How long before it becomes a standard?
I think you got to come with me. Come on.
This is Kevin Murphy from Riftrex, and you're listening to TalkRadar.
Hey, I'm talking here.
That voice the whole time. That's what I want.
Yeah. This is a bad impression of Dustin Hoffman and Midnight Cowboy doing Rizzo Razzo.
He's walking here.
Oh, man.
He's walking there. He's walking everywhere.
He's
Dustin
walking.
Hoffman.
He's dying and he needs orange juice.
Dustin Hoffman. Hope the kids are getting that reference. TalkRadar 82. Segment Deuce. New releases. There ain't none.
Nothing came out.
Things came out, but if you... They're so...
Oh, Blaster Master's on the Virtual Console on the US.
Stuff like that. Like Earthworm Jim hit the PlayStation Network or something like that. Bunch of stuff I couldn't manage
and
to write
we
down.
posted a review today for Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Crystal Bearers for Wii, but I don't think it's out till next week. The embargo's all lift today.
You know what else came out this week? I wanted to do Solitaire Salesman.
Solitaire!
You know what else came out this week, right? Solitaire.
Solitaire.
I've been doing a little extra work on the side, make a little extra money. I got to tell you about this game called Solitaire.
Mm-hmm.
It just came out on iPhones, PC, and eventually WiiWare. We're waiting on a patent, you know how these things work. Solitaire. What's the one thing you've always needed to play Solitaire but don't have?
A Surface.
A Surface. You don't have a Surface. Right. With this, you get to take Solitaire anywhere. There's no limit to where we can put our Solitaire game. Where would you like to see Solitaire now?
On the moon.
The moon. The moon is a perfect example of where Solitaire can go once you eliminate the need for gravity and a surface. Solitaire is perfect for the moon. You can slam cards down at your leisure.
What would I be slamming them on?
Slamming them on? You'd be slamming them on a screen on a lunar rover. It doesn't matter, Brett. Travel all over the place. Like, hit your golf balls. Eat an egg. Then you play Solitaire on whatever surface you deem fit.
I can play Solitaire anywhere.
I'm telling you can play Solitaire anywhere.
Can I play it on the back of a chair?
You could play it on the back of a chair, Brett. Most airplanes are already outfitted to play Solitaire on the back.
So, what does an experience like this cost? $300? $400?
Whoa, Michael. Solitaire is a relatively inexpensive
Chris.
game. It's a relatively inexpensive game. And yes, it's more expensive than a deck of cards and most surfaces. But you can take it anywhere you want to go.
Now, do I need a second person to play Solitaire?
No, Tyler, this is what's great about Solitaire. You do not need an extra person.
But what if the girl I'm with don't like Solitaire?
Then you know what? You take it away from her. Once you've eliminated the surface, you can literally play Solitaire in secret.
No, what if the surface catches on fire?
Michael, I can give you a guarantee that this surface will not catch on fire, and if it does, it is not covered under a warranty.
What if my hands fall off?
What if your hands fall off? Michael, you can play with your tongue. It's amazing. Solitaire requires so little action. You can literally play Solitaire over the period of several years.
But what makes your Solitaire different than all the other options of Solitaire I already have?
Well, we have a lot of customizable features to our Solitaire.
Like what?
Well, have you ever wanted to, say, design your own deck?
I would love to.
Well, if you can do that within 3 palettes of colors, then it's all yours.
Okay, 3 palettes or 3 colors?
3 colors, Brett. 3 colors. I like to call them palettes. Green. We got red, and we got blue. And I can't really imagine that wouldn't fit for one of you guys.
Well, what's the background of the card? Is it white? Is that a 4th color, or does it have to be one of those 3 colors?
We ran into a little trouble with the NAACP, and we're not allowed to use black for the spades or clubs. But I think you'll find if you highlight over it with your mouse or finger... See?
But that implies a surface. If my finger is sliding on anything, You just got busted.
Look, I don't want to mince words here, but if you want to say it, then yes, we're selling a Surface. Nobody has done that before. This is revolutionary.
What about a table company?
I'm telling you about Solitaire. You know what they don't have?
Huh.
Cards. Cards.
What if they get a free deck of cards with every table?
What's the biggest gift this Christmas? The hottest gift flying off the shelves this holiday season.
Tony Hawk Ride.
Solitaire.
Could I play Solitaire on a Tony Hawk Ride skateboard?
You can play Solitaire on a Tony Hawk Ride skateboard.
But doesn't that imply that
it
needs a surface?
No, but you can play it on... It could be floating around in the void of space. It doesn't matter, Michael. Solitaire is there for you. Solitaire is now. Solitaire is here. Solitaire is coming after it's already here. That's how big it is.
Right. So it's
Forget about the other Solitaires you've seen. So this one is coming to WiiWare.
So is Solemn there?
Solemn there, solemn everywhere. Solitaire.
Salam.
Do not forget about Solitaire this holiday season. Makes a great stocking stuffer.
That would just be cards, though, in a stocking.
Look. You're an editor. You're the guy with the words. I'm just telling you about. I'm just trying to tell you about Solitaire.
I'm on board.
Well, you've done that.
And new releases over Solitaire Sketch.
Don't worry, this Solitaire game may be for only advanced players.
You know what, Michael? It is not only for advanced players. Even the biggest drooling... I can't even say. Even the fattest tongue person on the planet can play Solitaire. It does not take a genius.
What if my wife don't even want it in the house?
It doesn't want it in the house?
Yeah.
You play in the garage, Brett, or say, hey, I have to go walk the cat. And you go outside and you play Solitaire.
On a surface.
But how I keep the devil from escaping box?
It's a point. Excuse me?
He made you stumble. You stumble.
No, he didn't.
You have to collect yourself.
I'm completely poised. I can't stumble when I'm talking about Solitaire. It's just that great.
Oh, you're treading
what you
water.
simply do is you refresh the deck. The devil goes away. That's what's great about Solitaire. It's better than Jesus.
Can Solitaire save me?
Solitaire can save you.
From?
Boredom. Right? Isn't that all what we're looking for anyway? That's how all religions were developed.
No, you're right. I would be bored if I was burning in hell forever.
Exactly.
That'd be boring.
Exactly.
Forever is a long
How
time.
much could it hurt? Eventually you'll get used to it.
It's true.
That's where Solitaire comes in. And once it's portable, it can come with you into the depths of Hades.
And that way, it's like Left 4 Dead. No game is the same.
Exactly. God. Wow. VGAs. We should do this.
I really want to buy Solitaire.
Solitaire,
I want to play
friends.
that now.
Solitaire.
I've heard of it, but I've never played
This holiday season, make it a Solitaire.
The Care Bear Solitaire.
VGAs. Who watched the VGAs?
I did.
I watched 2 minutes online and hated every second of it.
I had no idea it was happening.
Yeah, I found out because of Twitter, and it was like people were saying Arkham Asylum 2 was announced.
Yeah.
What?
I found out because Batman 5273 or whatever his number is messaged me on Xbox Live, and it's like, hey, did you watch the VGAs? I just saw Arkham Asylum. I was like, shit, that's on!
Right.
I was busy not hating my evening.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't that bad.
I moved on from it. I fucking hate the VGAs with a burning white hot passion.
I don't like award shows.
Look, it's really, really come a long way since David Spade was hosting, and then it was Samuel L. Jackson.
It's no better to me.
But what about awards? Is there any award shows you've ever liked watching?
I think my problem with the VGAs, I don't have any problem with the games they picked or whatever. Like, the problem to me is reverence. Once a year, everyone, depending, it doesn't matter how much you care or don't care about movies. A lot of people watch the Oscars or even the Golden Globes, and we watch them. And for one night, movies are important, and they're recognized as being important and mattering. Mm-hmm. And everyone dresses up in the finest shit they have. Everyone puts on their jewelry and their finest clothes, and people are acknowledged for their work and for the accomplishments of the medium. The VGAs. There's no reverence. It exists on Spike to advertise Spike programs and Burger King
and video games.
But all it does, and now they're releasing trailers so you'll watch, so they can advertise more during it. And everyone in the audience is dressed like they're going to a club, not at a fucking event. They're dressed like, hey, I got this shirt's got a collar. This counts, right? And they've got the same people presenting shit. There's no reverence at all.
I saw a picture of Mike Tyson presenting an award with the cast of Quito Beach or what's this down the Jersey
And it's
Shore.
just like, hey, did you know we show UFC and we show all these other, like, it's just constant barrage of advertising, and it's like literally one night out of 365 fucking nights, you can't even pretend that games matter, that games are important, and actually acknowledge the people behind them. Like, this medium never gets acceptance when that's the award show that we accept. Like, it's fine now.
But they were acknowledging the people behind them.
Yeah, no,
did they?
They say no. They say their name, and it's still like they say the game of the name first, and then these people come up, and then it's just like there's no. Hey, and none of them have anything prepared. Also, everyone knows who's going to win, so everything is horribly scripted. Jack Black goes up there and sings a song. Why? Because he knew he was gonna win.
Did he sing a song?
No,
he went up there and had a pre-planned rant and smashed his award.
Wait, don't. Part I saw.
I have audio of that.
Yeah, go for it.
This is Jack Black in a moment I thought was particularly unstaged.
Game of the fucking year.
One for best voice actor. Or best voice acting.
Hold on, we're getting there.
Nobody believed me when I called it last year. Look at me now. Hey, Arkham Asylum, tell me how my ass tastes. Uncharted 2, more like Uncharted Poo. Left 4 Dead 2, more like Left 4 Dead Poo.
Woo! And I get, like, games are not the same medium as movies, so I'm not totally against it being a little edgier and a little just sillier and more fun, but there's no reverence at all. It's so crassly staged, and I'm watching it online. Did anyone watch it online? Did you see how Spike was presenting it? It was draped in Burger King, and you could choose between 4 different cameras from which to watch the show. They were named the Cheeseburger Cam, the King Cam, the Double Patty Cam. Like, it's literally non-stop marketing. And then, hey, this game just got announced. By the way, UFC Season 9 next week. And then we're showing cops after this. And it's just so... They can't even pretend for 2 hours that games are important or matter or have any substance. It's just exactly what the mom and dad think games are, which is just a bunch of bullshit. And the people can't even accept the words graciously. They have to be like, now's my chance to be funny. It fucking drives me nuts.
Here's the thing, though. You don't understand how far this has come since the
I
first
watched.
Okay, those trailers you were complaining about. Okay, now imagine those as really shitty sketches geared at stoner frat boys. That's all it was. It was like, hey, let's get David Spade out here, have a guy come on dressed as Tommy Vercetti to pretend to menace Tony Hawk with a chainsaw, and then we'll give the Game of the Year award to Madden, and give the best sports Game of the Year award to Tony Hawk for some reason. Yeah.
No, I watched.
It's like, it's all about Halo.
I watched the first one, hated every second of it, and since then, everything I've seen and heard of all of the others, including the few minutes I watched of this one, were no better. Like, granted, that skit sounds horrible, and if they didn't do anything like that, then they realized that's horrible. But what I saw this time was Tony Hawk walking out on stage and presenting an award for Best Action Adventure. Do you know what action is? That's getting it on with your girlfriend. Do you know what adventure is? When the guy turns out to have a boyfriend. Action adventure is you running away from the guy who had the girlfriend. Nominees for Best Action Adventure are, and God damn it, that's
my only.
Don't let him talk ever again.
The only reason I'm playing devil's advocate against that is because it's not different than any other award show that has ever existed.
Right. There's
one way. There's one way it
they're all cheesy and full of shitty jokes.
Cheesy, but they come out. The presenters come out and hawk their own game before they announce the nominees.
Yeah,
and that's weird.
It just feels so. It's just marketing. The whole thing is keep buying stuff, keep buying stuff, keep buying for one night. For one night, could you just treat it with respect? Otherwise, we're never going to get there.
More importantly,
that's
I was
probably
invited.
a sad compromise that was made with the advertisers because there's no academy that was willing to fund this shit. So
you make one.
Okay, go ahead, make one.
But these people are obviously in the market for it. So it's just strange that they wouldn't do it.
I'm sure none of them are willing to fund it because it would involve cooperating with the competition.
Because they don't actually care.
Okay, that's true. That's true. They don't.
And that's why I hate the VGA.
What's weird
because no one cares.
And this bothers me. I work on the internet, and
tell me about it.
Well, it's only because for some reason a poorly watched show like that means more than giving us a trailer. There were more trailers more reveals at this award show than there were at E3.
Yeah, because no one will watch that shit without knowing that every year there's going to be a new set of reveals.
Which is weird, and yeah, that's weird if it becomes a vessel for that kind of marketing.
Yeah, the Oscars don't go, and next, coming up after the break, we've got the Iron Man 3 trailer.
They
don't do that.
Announced, like, Green Day Rock Band was announced. All songs are compatible with either Rock Band songs.
One or two. Force Unleashed 2, Arkham Asylum 2.
Force Unleashed 2, which I have a clip of, if you'll bear with me.
Something Dark Side.
Foolishly, you hold to hope for the life you once had.
Rather foolishly.
Let go of everything you fear to lose. You must. You think you have a purpose, a destiny. Uncertain and fearful you are. You are but a shadow of your former self. Confused you have become. Weak and misguided. Hide not from yourself. Accept the certainty. Confront your fear.
Okay.
Is lost.
Will I ever see you again?
What the hell is this, Michael?
It sounds like Vader and Yoda in the mind of Starkiller, followed by Juno Eclipse.
Yeah, why? I thought this was a one and done thing.
Yeah, so did I. And there's a lot of confusion about that because it's like I'm just going to go ahead and spoil this. You can skip ahead 30 seconds if you don't want to hear this. But
Force Unleashed. Spoiler.
Force Unleashed ends with the main character either dying if you pick the good ending, or he kills Vader and replaces him as the Emperor's apprentice.
Otherwise, you kill the Emperor.
You don't kill the Emperor,
no?
Because what you can do is you attack the Emperor and then you get killed anyway, and that's like the canon ending that then leads on to you started the rebellion and now it's going to go forward because of your actions. And the other way around, it's like, well, you chose to kill Darth Vader instead of saving your friends, so the Rebellion High Command got killed or whatever, and then you get struck down and replace Vader. So but the thing is, it's like he should not be alive, and if he is, he should be wearing like some sort of weird cyborg skeleton suit.
Is the Ultimate Sith Edition the part available on that sort of the bridge between that and the sequel?
It wouldn't be because the 3 expansion episodes kind of presuppose that you chose the bad ending, and now you're all like robotic and shit with claws, and so it's basically you go to I don't know what the first one is. I know you go to Tatooine, and you kill Boba Fett and Obi-Wan on Tatooine, then you go to Hoth and you confront Luke there, and Luke goes all dark side while his friends escape, and you cut off his hand, and then his eyes are all weird at the end, and the Starkiller calls him my apprentice. And then it's like, ooh, set a badass sequel, but that's not what this seems to promise. If anything, there's a lot of speculation that this is a prequel, which seems really dumb to me, because you don't make a 2 and then make it a prequel. I don't know, I think.
I'm actually very confused.
Is that what they were?
What the hell this number 2 is?
Is it called TFU2?
Yes. Force Unleashed 2.
So
very clearly.
I don't know.
Which
that implies
had no
a chronological
idea
progression forward.
Michael is right about that.
Is there?
Would you like your sound effect?
It's not Force Unleashed 0.
Right.
It's 2.
Is there any other case where 2 was a prequel of anything?
Probably.
I mean, I'm sure there is, but I mean.
Metroid.
That was not a prequel.
Wasn't?
Metroid 2 takes place after Metroid 1.
Well, was there I guess there wasn't a Metroid 3. Zelda 2?
Takes place after.
Takes place after. Hold on, we can think of one.
Let's do this. God of War 2 after. Gears of War 2 after.
Super Contra. Actually, that's not a 2.
I'm tired of this.
Castlevania 2 after.
Does take place after.
Castlevania 3 is
See, that's what I'm talking about. There's tons of stuff like that.
Castlevania 3 is before. Fascinating.
But
yes.
I don't.
It is weird for 2.
This is a more discerning time. I would imagine it takes place afterwards, and it shows a.
Yeah.
Is it the same guy? In the trailer?
It is the same guy. And I mean, they may just say like, well, he died once in the game, which he did. Like Vader threw him out an airlock, and he was revived. And it's like, so they might just say, well, they revived him again.
While I have Michael's attention, they announced Deadliest Warrior, the game.
Yes,
Jesus
they
Christ.
did, and along with a new season, which I'm actually more excited about.
I'm
than that
excited about the new
shitty looking game, which is going to be on XBLA.
Oh, it's an XBLA game.
I think so. Yes.
I will lower my expectations.
That show is so much fun. It's just forum war for a different kind of person. Like, I think a Spartan could totally kill a ninja.
Dude, you're totally out of line.
For military historians.
Yeah,
basically.
only like they actually get the experts in there to come argue about why their knight beats a fucking
I think
a
Jackie
pirate.
Chan could kick harder than a wolf.
Could, yeah.
It's true. It's true. One has haunches, one doesn't.
He said Jackie Chan could kick harder than a wolf.
Oh, that's ridiculous. You're talking nonsense. In the middle of our VGA conversation, of course a wolf could kick harder than Jackie Chan.
I don't believe it.
He has haunches.
Even with the haunches, the muscle mass isn't there.
Do me a favor. Okay. Imagine a dog or a wolf sitting down.
Right.
There's a circle there. That's all muscle.
Right, but
that circle on the leg. Imagine that force being unleashed.
Yeah, but they're not made to kick.
Into your face
in a jump kick.
Or a gun that you were holding so you could appear in a PG movie. The wolf could do it. The wolf could kick it out of your hand.
They're made to lunge and use their teeth.
That's right.
Not to kick, whereas Jackie Chan is built to kick.
I don't think wolves have been put to task for their kicking prowess, but eventually
I think we should contact
the gauntlet will be thrown, and wolves will start kicking like nobody's business.
And the thing is, though, it's like as much as the idea of a Deadliest Warrior game is intriguing, and like the setup, like ninja versus
Never
knight,
happened.
in a realistic thing where they translate their abilities. It looks just a little bit cartoony, and I can't help but feel that this has been done 100 times in video games already.
Yeah.
Like in Time Killers, for example. Ooh, samurai versus knight. Who would win?
Yeah,
Who did win?
The bit is it depends on
Whoever had more
who put
arms
the
at the end
quarter
of the
in.
Also announced. Did I say True Crime?
Oh, Hong Kong.
Oh, baby, True Crime.
Man, that's a franchise we missed.
Mm-hmm.
It is right up there in line with.
Getaway.
No, I was. What's that game from Namco?
Dead to Rights.
Dead to Rights.
Boy, that looks like
we got a new Dead to Rights game. A bunch of names people barely remember, but will still sell more than their original IP.
Mm-hmm. It's weird that.
Yeah.
It's just strange. Like, does anyone like?
These are all, but stuff
did
like that.
Anyone love any?
It was all
either true crime.
They
game?
were all million sellers.
Yeah.
That nobody has any particular fondness for.
Would New York sell millions?
No, I think
I wouldn't think so.
I think New York fizzled a little. I think L.A. did well.
Yeah.
Based off the is this the next GTA?
A Crackdown trailer. Spec Ops: The Line. Were we excited about that? But it was also Halo Wretch. See, I'm in my Mad Magazine mode again.
You survived Pegasi, sir. Spartans never died, George. They're just missing in action.
Which means they're good. Good job.
It's not true. You can come back like in Pearl Harbor. Remember when Ben
right.
Affleck raises Josh's Hartnett's baby?
Oh yeah, and they put the medals on the bombs that they dropped
Then you
on the
couldn't
Japanese.
leave the theater until you saluted the flag.
Yeah,
after all that was over.
And it was 3 hours.
It was weird.
And I had to blow Michael Bay. It was
weird. There was also, I think, did I get one more trailer? Oh, of course I did, and I don't care what you think. I like this. Mark Hamill, also up for Best Voice Actor, lost to Jack Black.
Because Jack Black showed up.
Arkham Asylum 2, which I didn't. That took me by surprise.
Yeah, it really did. I would not have expected it within 4 months of the first game coming out.
Coming from a publisher that died.
Yeah, basically.
I guess this will come to us from Square Enix.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
No, Warner Brothers.
In a very bizarre way. Yeah, Arkham Asylum 2. Charlie put up a very thorough dissection of this trailer that kind of... All it does is confirm a lot of things that we predicted in September when Charlie wrote an article about like who we think is the villain and what we think is going to happen. Looks like it's going to take place in an altered No Man's Land story from DC Comics, which was Gotham City is hit by this horrible earthquake that isolates it from the rest of the world. It's martial law is declared, everyone evacuates, and basically the villains and thugs just start running all of Gotham. That looks kind of like what this is, because everything suggests the city has been ravaged, and even the logo falls apart, showing the rebar underneath, and like it just suggests some big disaster has happened. And given the Joker in that looks like shit and is tied up to a blood, like a hospital, what are those called that you walk around with and your blood is attached?
Gurney.
Is that a gurney?
I don't know. No.
Dirty gurney?
IV bag.
The IV bag, like that suggests it's pretty recent, and the only thing that would suggest that level of destruction that quickly is a natural disaster.
I just had assumed.
You're wrong.
Well, no, because because I looked at it and like, wait a minute, all these villains are like the exact same character models from Arkham.
Yeah.
So they all got it. And if the Joker still is nursing scars, the game's happening immediately afterwards.
Yeah, it seems very close.
Charlie found like all these instances of mentions of the Penguin, which
the iceberg
are no more references than there were in the actual game where they didn't appear, but like it was still really cool.
Yeah, there's like this black cat that's featured prominently, so you think maybe Catwoman, Iceberg Lounge, Sionis, which means Black Mask could be in it.
So what leads you to believe that Two-Face appears?
Because he's part of the ending of the first Arkham Asylum. They say Two-Face has shown up, and then all of these posters that are littered around are like, "We want you," and it's like an Uncle Sam poster where he's pointing at you, and the face is ripped off. Oh, and both sides of the Uncle Sam costume are two different colors.
I just thought the trailer.
And if you go to Arkham has moved, the website, that poster is right there.
Yeah, it's clearly Two-Face is going to be one of the major antagonists.
My mistake. I was just hoping there was room for Shadow. I'm not a huge fan of Two-Face, and I don't know why.
I really like Two-Face. I say that, and I already like Two-Face and Mr. Freeze kind of being my favorite Batman villains, and I fucking love Two-Face in Dark Knight.
What about Clayface?
Clayface is... I like what they did with him in Arkham Asylum, where like he transforms only when you're not looking at him in that cell, and every time you turn around, he's someone else, and he's kind of mocking you. I thought it was really cool. Yeah. That's why, if you've looked at...
Who should play him in the movie?
Oh, I don't know.
Kirstie Alley.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Which is why...
I got a lot of dig credit for saying that once.
Really?
Yes.
Related to Arkham Asylum, if you looked at the site today, Friday, 12/18,
Charbarit.
The Platinum Chalice Awards went up. The yearly, our annual Game of End of the Year, Game of Everything of the Year awards, and Batman did win it. So it is kind of strange for the game that just won Game of the Year to already have a sequel announced. And in such a state where they had,
their company kind of went under. And
Rocksteady?
No, Eidos. So
right.
The game bankrolling the entire project I think from the beginning. They were behind it more than Warner Brothers was. I
think they realized the potential that's there.
Of course. And Warner Brothers owns the character, lock, stock, and everything. But
right.
Yeah, it just seems a little odd.
It seems awfully fast, and I hope it's not. Nice. I hope it's not what it appears to be, which is even the same enemy models, and it's going to be
we're the exact same enemy models.
I
really imagined, the next day, like all of those people run across the bridge of Arkham, and that's what it looks like. They're not even wearing shirts.
No.
They're wearing Arkham scrubs. So.
Unless, did they actually
Remember, this is Eidos. It could become like Tomb Raider, where it's just like, we're just using the same construction set to make new levels.
Stop. That is a frightening prospect.
Then it's Rocksteady, and I expect better from them.
Yeah.
Is it, this is me not really remembering off the top of my head, but did they say it's a Arkham Asylum 2, or is it just Arkham has moved and it's all kind of vague, and we're just assuming it's 2?
They didn't, but when I went to Game Trailer site, I just listed it as Arkham, and that's the only place, Arkham has moved links to Game Trailer site.
Well, it doesn't anymore.
It doesn't anymore?
No, Arkham has moved as its own site now.
Oh, no, the site
I know.
links to Game Trailer.
It did over the weekend, but it's been changed. It's its own site now.
I remember that happened when the GTA trailer came out, and every site was hammered so hard, and Rockstar's site, and they're like, please go ahead and post yours early. We can't... Too much traffic. Maybe that happened.
It just makes me wonder if, because it looks so identical, if it's just some DLC thing or some add-on disc content that's because everything looks the same.
That's a distinct possibility.
I wouldn't. But I assume if that would have been the case by now, Rocksteady would be like, "No, God, no, it's not a whole new game. Jesus Christ, don't expect that."
Yeah.
I'm guessing it is a new game.
I could be out of line here, but I consider Mark Hamill a celebrity. Most of the time, they don't get the celebrities to reappear for DLC.
It's Mark Hamill.
Who is this celebrity?
Who voiced Wolverine?
There's things he could be signing somewhere.
You just have to say his name 3 times and he'll appear.
Mark Hamill, the Beetlejuice of wash-ups.
And Michael Keaton somehow is not a wash-up.
He's Luke Skywalker.
Michael Keaton rules. You need
Jack Frost was a right hoot.
See Beetlejuice again. The man's in the movie for 16 minutes.
He owns all 16 minutes. I love that movie.
we can move on a little bit so we can get into some.
Let's go.
We can finish this thing because I'm tired. I got to get the hell out of town.
You do. By the time this airs, by the time you hear this, Chris will be in
Florida. So look me up. Don't look me up. Look me up. I only grabbed one piece of news. It's like everything's kind of behind us, all the big stuff. But I thought this was cool, and I thought it would get your attention, Brett. The comics coming to PSP.
I don't care.
One has commentary.
I don't care.
And that's part of. Well, just shut up and pretend that like this is a giant deal for comics to have commentary from the writers and artists.
Wow, yeah. I'm playing along.
No, all right.
But it's only PSP. It's not like a thing you can do online.
No, it is. Well, only one comic has kind of done that so far as part of just how a DVD offers itself as a movie with this as a supplemental material.
Right.
Just a supplement. Some guy talking about how he made the comic. And I think that's fucking badass. I never cared about owning a digital comic until I thought about this prospect. And the PSP is offering that. I thought it was kind of cool.
I do think it's cool, but I'll never sit down on a PSP and listen to comic book commentary.
I know plenty of people in the office who do listen to commentary. I don't listen as much as
I listen to commentary, but I'm not going to turn my PSP on. Like, why not just have a website? I hit play on an MP3 and go through the comic myself. And like, well, if you turn to page 3, this is where this spread took forever.
It's a good platform for that.
Maybe you can have a little golden book chime when it's time to turn the page.
That failed. Should have had some more news. All right, we get back. We're going to announce some contest winners.
We got a question of the week.
Game deals.
Ask a games journalist.
And an ending.
Boy.
Hello, everybody. This is Eric, the old man from podcast number 8. I just wanted to wish you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy Holiday, a wonderful New Year, and be sure to come back and see us in 2009. Take care, everyone.
It's Christmas time. There's no need to be afraid.
At Christmas time, we let in light and we banish shade. And in our world of plenty,
We can spread a smile of joy.
throw your arms
Around the world at Christmas time.
About to say a prayer. Pray.
Hooray for the other ones at Christmas time.
It's hard, but when you're having fun, there's a world outside your window, and it's a world of dread and fear,
Where the only water flowing
is the bitter sting of tears.
and the Christmas bells that ring there
are the clanging chimes of doom.
Well, tonight, thank God it's them
instead of you.
Thanks, God. And there won't be snow in Africa. This is Christmas time. Oh no.
The greatest gift they'll get this year is life. Where nothing ever grows, no rain or rivers flow. Do they know it's Christmas time at all? Here you raise a glass for everyone. Here in the underneath know it's Christmas time. Let them know it's Christmas time. Let them know it's Christmas time.
TalkRadar, bitches.
All of a sudden, I could feel 100% evil come over me.
I'm going to GamesRadar.com, the official website of the internet.
Can you dig it?
So it's I before E, except after C, and sometimes it does not need an apostrophe, but you don't even care about there, and there. It's like you learn to speak from texting on your cell.
When you're talking games, we know who to blame if you just can't spell. At your favorite site, you should spell it right, you should learn to spell. If a dictionary's kind of scary, what the hell? Then you're a fool, go back to school and learn to spell.
Bringing us in for our rock band tradition, which I'm slowly hating, but gives you hell by, who is it? All American Rejects.
Yeah.
Gives you hell is coming. I'm not playing their version.
Oh, okay.
I'm playing ours. I'm playing ours. This is us. You can't hear that?
Oh yeah, we singing this.
Yeah, Green Days and 30 Seconds to Mars. But this is going to be a giant segment in third because I ran the hell out of here forgetting we had all this shit to play. And Michael went and got something on the Megafly.
Yeah, I just wanted to point out that Brett is now completely right about the VGAs because they gave Megan Fox Best Performance by Human Female based on the strength of her performance in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. And I've captured that performance.
Brett theorized that it was just to get her on the stage.
That could be. They had some interesting other people competing in that. I guess Eliza Dushku for
again what?
For what the fuck was that game called? Wet.
Dollhouse? She was in Wet?
She was. She played Ruby.
Oh.
It's like, meanwhile, where was Nathan, what's his name?
Nolan North was nominated for Best Voice Actor.
He will never win.
He should have. He was in everything.
No, he should have.
Also had Kristen Bell, Best Performance, and Trisha Helfer as Dare from... Kristen Bell from Assassin's Creed, Trisha Helfer from ODST.
Oh, I'm good.
Let's see what...
But let's hear this award-winning performance from Megan Fox.
Yes, let's do.
Let me go! You stupid piece of scrap iron. What do you want? Because whatever it is, you can get it.
Is the robot trying to bang her?
This is not working! Yeah, he's walking. Or possibly
now, to play devil's advocate once again, it wasn't for best writing.
No, it was best...
Yeah, but it's just like she has it, and then she loses interest in the line halfway through.
I believe we have another clip that will completely vindicate her performance.
Oh, yes.
That's it? You're just gonna leave me here? Fine.
So I beat that game.
Is my sequence over? Can I go home?
I beat that game, and both her and what's his name?
Shia
LaBeouf.
Shia at least put some fucking energy into his
but
lines.
both of them, like, they are specs on the game, like on the map. They're like, they look like PS1. This is gonna not make it. It looks like that extreme skateboard racing game, Downhill. It was a PS1 launch game, where it's just
Too Extreme.
Too Extreme. That was the sequel. Extreme. Extreme was the first one. It just looks like shitty sprites in a 3D world. They're like, "Hey, I'm a human. Hey, Megatron's here. Can you go blow him up, please?" And then sometimes you're saving her, and then she says that shit. And it's like, you know why they gave her the award? So she'd be there because
Was she there?
pretty.
I think she just had a video.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. All that matters is that she got it and that she somehow came
according to
video,
a poll on the internet, she has a
was.
real purty mouth.
Oh.
Yeah,
So
that is the basis of all award shows, though.
Boners.
I think everyone. I think actors show.
Ultimately, yes.
Awarding people who will be there.
I think
only the Oscars can get away with people not telling them in advance if they're going to win.
Yes.
But the MTV Music Movie Awards have done that for years. They give awards only to people who will show up.
Right. MTV Music Awards to me is like, yeah.
Whether you like it or not, it has become kind of legitimized.
I don't think so, but okay. I think it's the same
matters.
thing. I think
it helps sell albums.
I think it's the same thing as this. It's all about selling things instead of
reviewing. But my only problem with this is because it seems to reward stuff that's already sold.
That's true.
And
it's like there's no reason to award this. Like, it was a shitty performance on a game that was a movie tie-in. Like, it's just because she's a girl celebrity for a video game award show. Of course, she's going to win.
I don't want you to be upset because you're really going to like this.
Oh, good. I think I
because Tyler Wilde has prepared to us a little piece on the recently released Zelda the movie.
Oh, A Hero of Time.
Oh, Hero of Time, which me and Brett have looked at. By which I mean we didn't watch it.
I skimmed through a good chunk of the hour-and-a-half fan movie that showed up.
Tyler said we should get audio of this. I'm like, you're right, but I refuse to watch. I couldn't watch more than like a minute of the movie.
I really feel bad making fun of it because
I know it's a homegrown project.
They worked so hard.
Yeah, like it's like on one hand, hey, they probably love Zelda as much as I do, as a man with 3 Zelda tattoos and 11 more to come. So on one hand, I'm like, hey, I know how you feel about Zelda. I get it. I would never do this or watch this. And like if I won't, who will?
I bet you. I just want to point that before we move on, I want to bet you $100 before you get those 11 Zelda tattoos. I'm going to get 6 Chippendales.
Okay.
By that I mean 6 chipmunks, not 12.
Not male strippers.
No, I am not a gay.
You mean
no?
You mean 6 Chip or Dales or
6 Chip and Dales
together?
I'm not going to do it asymmetrical. There's not going to be like 4 Dales and 2 Chips. That's stupid.
Right, but 6.
Who would do that?
But
it would be confusing. You should draw them in a cross.
Are you saying 3 Chips and 3 Dales?
So 3 Chips and 3 Dales in the same time. Well, first of all,
yes,
that's 6 tattoos and 11. Yes, of course you will get 6.
$100.
Of course you'll get 6 tattoos. The time it takes me to get 11.
But it really would. Do you understand what kind of position you're in? That I have to get. I would have to want to lose $100 less than getting 6 chipmunks on my body permanently. You should have just taken the bet. It's way more likely that you'll get 11 Zelda tattoos.
No.
No.
I'm averaging 1 every 2 years.
1 every 2 years. Sweet. By the time we settle this, that'll be like $1. We'll be putting 100 in a Coke machine to get a vitamin water.
Let's say in the next year. Next year. By December 18th next year, what? How many should we?
I don't know what I should. We're still working on. We may make a contest on the readers picking my tattoo.
Right. I love Mega Man on a cross.
It's really good.
Yeah.
It's very strong. Especially the thick black one you drew. Did you make that?
Yeah.
Yeah, there was but the thick black. I love.
Right, it's just a black line of a cross.
A
and
black
Mega
line of a cross
with his arms out, hanging up on a cross.
Should his eyes be closed? It's more Christ-like.
But then you have to tilt the head like 3 degrees to the side.
No, that is true. You don't want to start.
No, it's just fine the way it is.
Start to nitpick this.
Let's move on.
Zelda movie.
Anyway,
Zelda movie. Wow.
What can we say about that?
It's admirable and it's adorable, but it's also shitty as fuck.
It's the camera work is terrible. The acting is terrible. I'm sorry. Some of the actors are decent now and then.
I don't think
they have their moments.
They have their moments.
They have their lines.
It strangely seems to follow the physics and the gameplay mechanics of Zelda. Like there's a period where guards are walking in sequenced motions and Link is running past them. I'm like, you didn't have to be that.
Can he not
literal.
jump until prompted?
You can only jump where there's a ledge.
Yeah. Didn't have to go that literal. Here is a scene where they're talking to
What's the site this is posted on, real quick?
I believe it is. What's the movie called? Hero
of Time.
HeroOfTime.com, I believe, and the video's on DailyMotion.com.
Has this been done for a long time?
Recent.
It's recent.
Okay. Here it is. They're talking the Deca Tree?
Yes, the Great Deca Tree. This is some of the acting.
If you played Ocarina of Time, this is the tree Link talks to. It's like the first quest to you, Link, you're a special boy.
It is for the best, young master, that you and your past are in kept secret.
Keep in mind, real quick, that the Deco Tree is like eyebrows on a real tree, and the mouth, nothing is moving.
It moves less than the most static Muppet you've ever seen.
The only thing moving is the ambient air that's blowing the fuzz that's on this tree bark.
So you mean you're not going to tell me where I come from?
Was that Link?
Yeah.
Yes, that was Link.
Why does he talk like that?
Because that's where he is from.
Because people in fantasy sound like Americans affecting British accents.
Sounds like someone from Lower Bath.
No, they all have British accents, I guess.
You can't wield a sword without one. I've studied this.
True. That's why all samurai have them.
So you mean you're not going to tell me where I come from? Or anything about my past?
Link, this is no way to speak to the Great Dane.
I've waited too long for this.
I waited for Link just as I have waited for Harry's
Oh, you're a tree.
My human can feel the changes coming as I do. See how they sway in the breeze. These winds speak to us.
Dude, that's Barry White.
It's not Barry White. You know who it is?
It's the guy, probably the director.
No,
And
it
then-
is the commentator for Legends of the Hidden Temple. Whenever you're told Purple Parrot's getting up there, Olmec's about to tell us what you're going to win. You're going to win the home version from Game Tech. Game Tech.
Now I
Am
get
beating
it.
that.
Wow.
Beggars of all shitty dicker.
So
I forgot about that show.
find the amulet.
Yeah, so-
hidden in the ball pit.
Hidden in the blue screen.
Hidden in the deadly Aztec ball pit. Next to the
And you
next to the ancient Mayan soda
repel
machine.
from the candy wall into the razzleberry
The Mayan
tree.
skee ball trap.
It is you who is confronted.
Link, you're in so much trouble.
Apparently last week your
What are you talking?
apparently your Barry White thing was a couple podcasts ago. Then apparently last week, what was it? Your Randy Newman.
The Randy Newman off. That was amazing.
It was Randy Newman / David Lee Roth. Keep up, do this.
Sorry, more Zelda.
Why am I in danger?
You are bound to her, and she is in danger.
Shut up.
So it must be you who rises up.
I don't like it makes Link all impudent.
Yeah.
Like
So-
giving Link such a strong personality is just wrong.
Getting this clip, yeah, Link is just bizarre. He's sometimes clueless. The actor basically just kind of looks like he's standing there waiting for a line and then
He should
remembering
never open
it.
his mouth except to say, "Ha! Ha!"
But so Link can't act. Whoever plays him, I'm sorry. But
he has a really good wig.
Shellfish McDougal.
But Ganon, on the other hand,
Oh man,
well, he is very Shakespearean.
Ganon is like.
Really?
People will remember me as Ganon in that movie I was in.
So, yeah, play the first clip of Ganon, and yeah, he's quite a memorable character.
Mongrels who inhabit these lands will slave to us. Every blasted man, woman, child in a blade of grass will recognize my supremacy. If they resist, they will
He stole the keyboard from Castlevania.
not deny my power.
Sounds like somebody's leaning on an organ.
Last be in my possession. All this will be mine, and the Gerudo will at last reign over the peoples of Hyrule, of course.
Yeah, the whole time.
I'm almost convinced that Ganon is a bad character. He's not a very nice guy.
He's not nice, and he.
Yeah.
gets
Meanwhile, the whole time there's just a dude who is supposed to be like a Wormtongue-esque character.
Basically, Igor's there. Like,
yeah, just really Ganon? Really, you're a villain? Tell me more.
Oh, he does tell
Michael,
more.
what the fuck
We
are
have
you
one
looking
more
at?
clip.
Series of photos of baby animals in the womb.
God, that's gross.
Is that what you're doing the whole time you're recording this?
Not the whole time.
I'd rather be somewhere else.
I see like a tiger fetus with veins around it.
Would you rather be in an animal's
Kind of
womb right now,
adorable.
Michael?
Ugh, an elephant.
Adorable in a tasty
And a
veal
dolphin.
kind of way. I have that.
It's not like they're
that I
dead.
can work with, Michael.
Oh, the
we have
shark
one.
is-
We have one more clip.
Yeah.
clip.
Speaking of wombs, this is Ganon again, going off his rocker.
months. Yes, but shortly after I gain the Triforce of power, my strength will overbear their crafty schemes, and they will perish.
It's like he has a look of moving his eyes around like
It is
Harry.
a perfect balance of silence, you oaf. I have not overlooked this.
This sounds like a D&D session. People who are really into it.
The King's Triforce, gaining theirs will be effortless.
Okay.
Love it.
Oh.
Will you guys excuse me for a second? I have to go.
Before I perish!
Wow.
Mario! Man, you should see how this red line...
Really, Master?
Yes, your pee is the brightest and the biggest.
Oh, yeah. you have the biggest pee.
You have the biggest pee in the world and all the land. There's a fiefdom devoted to your pee, my lord.
The Gerudo will bow to my pee.
Kneel before your pee. Oh, and
I don't even know why I said
There's a
Gerudo.
joke in here.
My pee. Oh.
Callback.
That was an accident, not a callback.
Okay.
Unprofessionalism.
Let's try this, Chris.
Yes.
Sound effects.
Yes.
Third row.
Third row.
Fourth from the left.
Don't come.
Delightful.
Good memory.
No, I was just trying to figure out what it was.
Any more? Or are we ready to get in the Christmas?
Second row,
Christmas.
third.
Second row. What?
Second row, third from the right.
Nice job. Nice job.
Damn it!
Nice job.
I was actually trying to do something we haven't used.
You know what? What did you say before? Fourth row.
Let's do it. Fifth row.
No. I actually did to the right, not to the left.
Oh, I said fourth from the left. I think.
Oh, you just sunk his battleship.
It was Zelda. That was odd.
Okay, bottom row.
Bottom row.
Dead center.
I have been even up.
Hilarious. It was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
Yeah, herooftime.com or dailymotion.com have the full movie. You
An
can
hour
watch.
and a half.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
It's. I don't.
Again,
even know.
I say I feel bad for making fun of it because they worked very hard.
It's clear they took a lot of effort, but
considering
it's
its fan base, the production values are impressive. But you will see how quickly it's bad.
Yeah,
which is immediately.
Considering its primary setting is a backyard.
I know the final battle. I watched the whole final scene between Link and Ganon, and I'm like, that's my backyard. That's literally my parents' backyard. It's not climactic at all. It's well mowed grass, and it's well mowed grass and a respectable tree line.
Nice little bit of mulch, good tree line.
Yeah, you guys want to push that back to the back.
Yeah,
behind those trees,
man,
man.
that could be true.
It's the good grass up in front. You don't want to be stepping on that.
Yeah, as
Take
long as
your
you-
fancy camera doohickery into the back.
Don't step on the marble koi fountain when you're filming your Zelda movie. That's all that I ask. No. The next segment is near and dear to all of us gamers.
Is it?
Oh, it is, especially given the time of the year.
Oh, look! It's them pack creeps! Yeah, and now would be a perfect time to chomp them. Come to think of it, any time's a perfect time to chomp them.
Who are these silly?
I hadn't seen this cartoon in so long. What are we listening to, Michael, video game expert?
That would be the Pac-Man
The Pac-Man cartoon is
Pac-Man
correct.
likes chomping.
That is the give and take the whole time. They're not after one thing or another. They're after power pellets normally.
Right.
Which also grow on trees and are in emergency roadside boxes and available everywhere. And
I gotta get more.
And what they do is they chomp one another, and every time they do, guess what happens?
They get strong?
Nothing. Nothing. They chomp and then they go back. The ghosts have to go home and change into another outfit to be authentic.
Right.
And Pac falls down.
Did they?
And they continue to chomp back and forth. And this show lasted 2 years, according to the rumors or the legend that I read. When the Pac-Man show premiered, it was like Pac-Man was at the height of its popularity.
Right.
Double the amount of advertisers
Wow.
were willing to do it. So the show was like about 15 minutes long.
Wow.
Pac-Man. This is actually aired on primetime television. Can you imagine like fucking 2.5 Men interrupted with this fucking nonsense?
Right. Well, the idea of a game being so popular that it would be on primetime TV today, it's like, can you imagine a fucking Halo 30-minute show or even an hour show every night that there's so many people willing to advertise?
Mhm.
Like, even Halo is not that big. It could not pull that audience.
Pac-Man.
Pac-fucking-Man.
And do we remember what Pac-Man sounds like? I think we'll get to that. This is the clip in the cartoon. He sounds crazy.
Is he from
Has
Brooklyn?
Like a Bronx accent or something?
He has a Bronx accent, and he sounds like he smokes like 8 packs a day. Let me see if we can pick him out in this clip. He may not be in here.
Maybe it's a UFO. Yeah. And look at that weird alien with a hairy face and a red spacesuit.
That'd be Pac-Man.
The voice of Inch High Private Eye.
It absolutely is.
Messick,
It absolutely no, it's not Don Messick.
not
But
Don
he was the voice of Grape Ape, the little dog who drove the fucking. I mean,
Pat, baby, watch out!
by the way, this is definitely part of the Hanna-Barbera
touching moment.
era of we're committed to the cartoon because we're going to throw the name title into the derivation of how they talk. It's a Smurfy-Smurf-tastic Smurf.
God.
Everything here is pack.
God damn it.
Hello. Careful, he could be dangerous.
What's all the ruckus now? Pop and power pellets! An invader from Mars!
I think they need help, Packy. Are you okay?
I think so. Where am I?
You're in Pac-Land.
Pac-Land? That's funny. I've been all over the world and I don't remember hearing of Pac-Land.
Good thing I'm Pac-Man.
But who do you think that was?
I think
Santa Claus. Oh, ho squared. Yeah,
that's different from Ho times 2.
Pac-Man, Santa Claus goes through a dimensional portal, and once Pac-Man chomps the ghosts, there are 5: Inky,
Binky,
Blinky,
Susan,
Sue and Clyde,
Bonnie,
no,
Gregory,
and once Pac-Man chomps them, they're just eyeballs.
Right.
And they fly off to go home to go change outfits and frighten the reindeer.
Oh.
And he falls to the heavens. There's a lot of September 11th imagery in this cartoon.
Wow, and it's what 19 years before?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So were they responsible?
I think we'll tell about this
strong
next
case.
I think we've got a pretty watertight case here.
Yeah.
I think a lot will open up in this next clip.
This is the first Christmas I've missed in all of history.
That's Pac Baby, by the way.
There must be some way, Santa.
Thanks for trying, Pac-Man. But even if my reindeer were jet-propelled, I couldn't make it in time.
Jet propelled. That's it. We can still save Christmas. Santa, get your sleigh and reindeer and follow me.
The idea of Santa talking to Pac-Man is so goddamn absurd.
Here's the thing. I have a very vague recollection of actually watching this on TV when it aired. And I remember something like that the Pacs don't know what Christmas is.
No, Christmas had never come to Pac-Land.
That's right.
They had no idea. And so
they needed Jesus.
Ghetto. Part of the next clip is
because they're terrorists. Right?
How do they solve stuff in most Christmas episodes? Usually the villains set aside their differences because it's Christmas,
right?
And Pac pulls. I'm calling this Pac diplomacy because I'm sure the writers would. Talks the ghosts out of what?
Scaring the reindeer.
Chomping them while they're in a car.
Do the ghosts? Ghosts chomp?
This this is idiotic. Like the whole thing is really fucking stupid. Every single second of this cartoon is completely. I just have lost the word.
Dumb. Let's go with dumb.
It's dumb, but it completely negates what happened beforehand. It's really stupid.
It's just incoherent nonsense.
It's really nasty.
Forget it, Pac-Man. Your clever talk ain't gonna get you out of this mess.
Come down to the station.
Oh, wait, you don't understand. I'm not doing this for me. Just think of the millions of deserving children around the world who won't get their Christmas presents if you open your mouths instead of your hearts.
Oh, God.
And bear in mind, they've never seen a human being before or celebrated Christmas. And it works.
All those children we've never seen.
And it works. And I had to click, because I'm a stupid cartoon nerd. You'll recognize the sound of Pac-Man's car because Hanna-Barbera wasn't trying. That's what they were known for.
Just this once, Pac-Man. But remember, when Christmas is over, we'll be back. Oh, thanks. You won't regret this.
I want to believe it.
Yeah, and only a couple. Last clip. I didn't want to capture all of it. It's really stupid. I've seen it like twice now because I wrote something about it. Fucking crash lands the sleigh. The reindeer, what happens to them?
Ernest saves all of them.
What tragedy would befall a reindeer?
Gets stuck in the snow. Loses its hooves.
Breaks a leg and gets put down.
Gets turned into a sandwich.
Well, where are reindeer from?
North Pole.
Lapland.
So, obviously, you dummies, they catch a cold.
But they're from there. They're
Whoa! This is Pac-Man Christmas.
I overstepped my bounds.
Frank Welker was Chomp Chomp the
Yep.
dog.
Chomp Chomp the
The
dog.
voice of Megatron was the voice of their fucking dog.
was the voice of
everyone. You know I'm writing
and
a lot.
Peter Cullen was the cat.
You know I'm. Was he?
Yes.
Wow.
Sourpuss.
Frank Welker. By the way, he's been in this podcast already.
Really?
He's Captain O.G. Reedmore. And
Frank Welker is everyone.
And he's yeah.
That's true. He was Nolan North before there was a Nolan North.
I've watched a lot of Christmas specials. Frank Welker in the last 15 years has played Santa Claus like 9 times.
Oh my god.
But this is how they solve the Christmas. How would you nurse a reindeer back to health?
Sandwiches?
If you were Pac-Man.
Power pellets?
I don't know what you've got in mind, Pac-Man, but it's just no use. I might as well face it. I've missed my first Christmas.
Oh, didn't this happen to Mario last week?
There's the answer to your problem. Power pellets? Methinks Packy's gone wacky.
Oh.
Pellets fall, Pac-Man. Reindeer. Who else? Go on, give him a chomp.
So Pac-Man's a drug dealer, basically.
I'm telling you.
Power pellets.
my. I've never seen Rudolph's nose glow so bright.
Good God.
For Christ's sakes, Ma, I need a power pellet.
It's just like marketing inside of marketing. Like,
do you know what power-ups are in the real world? They're anabolic steroids, essentially.
And speed.
It's like we invented Rudolph to sell shit, and now we're using Pac-Man to sell Rudolph.
Santa was invented to sell shit.
Yeah, it's like, it's layers upon layers of like, the true meaning of Christmas is Santa.
I disagree. I am so full of spirit right now.
Okay, when you're 4 years old, yes, Santa delivering you presents is the true meaning of Christmas.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah.
But then it's just, as adults,
it's a beautiful thing. And I haven't gotten to the Sonic Christmas special.
Oh, God.
Which I won't for another 365 days, kids. Oh, next year we will do that.
Everyone is slow. What was the podcast where like?
What's your favorite Christmas special? Does anybody have one?
I can't think of anything else.
I have no idea.
I just wanted to recommend Fraggle Rock.
I remember loving Muppet Family Christmas as a kid. I don't know if it's any good.
I would say it just makes me mad.
Okay.
Because it...
Go ahead.
Muppet Family Christmas contains every Muppet ever.
Right. That's why I thought
who
it was
have all
cool.
been sold to other companies, so that makes it difficult to re-air it anyway. And there's about 6 lines of dialogue, and the rest of it is them singing songs.
Yeah.
So the only chance you'll ever have to see the Muppets together basically doesn't exist anymore because they chose to not do anything but sing songs that are licensed. So, and then they sold off the company. So that special is dead.
Yeah.
Like at the time.
Wait, was that the one with John Denver?
No. This is the one where, like, I'll tell you all about it. Fozzie, quite rudely, goes to his mother's house for Christmas, bringing the entire Muppet gang, which is, I believe, 80 to 90 strong.
All of Sesame Street and all
Sesame
of them.
Street shows up to Carol. It gets a little crazy outside.
Yeah, I remember that.
Doc and Sprocket are renting a room upstairs.
Yes.
The Fraggles are downstairs. They show a home movie of the Muppet Babies.
Yes.
And I think we covered all our bases.
It's everything.
They're all under one roof, and you'll never see it again. You have to steal it.
Yep.
And it's terrible quality. And we'll move on.
But is it as terrible as the Star Wars Holiday Spectacular, which is the most horrible 5 hours you will ever watch in 1 hour?
I would only say that because it was following, and to its credit, it was following the tradition of awful variety specials of the time.
Yeah.
Which are all terrible. I'd never watch it would be like torture if you made me watch one of those. But now it just happens to have fucking Harrison Ford and a couple Wookiees in it.
Yeah.
It's exactly like that.
Oh, who's that at the door? Oh, it's Luke Skywalker.
Yeah.
Find out more next week.
TV's Art Carney.
All the shit my grandparents are comforted by that I find repellent and want them to be extinct for Like that's what the Star Wars Christmas special is. They would love it.
I really want to know where the hell that format originated and why it was so popular, because it is so stupid and so unwatchable, and yet it like even Colbert's Christmas special is a throwback to it.
Do you remember that I told you I wrote our Christmas special in about an hour?
You were using that stuff as reference.
Yes. It took very little time. Well, I know what I want to put in here, so I might as well write a line for Michael to introduce it. Ha-ha! Shit mittens!
You guys are in for a treat next
week is lovely. It goes up on Wednesday next week, a little early. So look on 12/23 Wednesday for TalkRadar Christmas special.
Right. Christmas special. It didn't work last year either.
It didn't work last year.
Now we have to move into our community segment. I will announce some WinRARs.
Oh, winners.
Or should we do game deals first?
Let's announce some winners real quick.
The WinRARs. We had Harry Potter winners, which was to create a game-based spell.
There were some good ones. I looked at that thread.
I wish you should have judged. It was hard. Lucas Hints. I kept saying Lucas Hints.
Yeah.
Lucas Hints. For Star Fox, Aurelius Rollis.
Yeah.
Do a barrel roll.
Yes.
And he had Peppy in there with a wizard's hat.
Yes.
Well done.
Amnesiac, Revealum Genitalius, to instantly show the gender of a JRPG character. Gimpy Goat causes any asshole who teabags you to teabag themselves, and had a lovely picture of what it looks like when a magic spell forces someone to teabag themselves.
I imagine a lot of...
a spinal injury.
I imagine wormholes or portal guns.
Near and dear to our hearts this time of year, Ridgely Franchisio Disappearus. Simply direct your wand at a franchise that needs to die. Once the spell is said, all copies of the target franchise are instantly teleported to the bowels of hell, where they will burn in eternity. And the picture is a pile of Band Hero. Although it's accompanied with a disclaimer, the spell has no effect on Sonic the Hedgehog. And Shin Ramen, I just had to award it to him. Completicus Ceticus. He bought all the Harry Potters individually at $100-something.
Oh yeah.
On Blu-ray, and needed one to complete his set.
I know.
He specified. I didn't know I was getting just Blu-ray, so he specified Blu-ray, and I'm. Yeah, Hangover, Web Swinger. Web Swinger had he won. Basically, because I didn't know he's old enough to drink.
This was to win the Hangover on DVD. You tell your best hangover story.
Mm-hmm.
Listen every week for
dog.
Zabu-san,
our buddy Zabu-san had kick-ass pictures. Green Arrow won. Green Arrow 1, it's a longish story, and it sounds fake. But I love it. It ended in a way I did not expect, and I do love it, so...
yeah.
Sound.
Where is the Joker, yeah?
He's here, so...
Yeah.
Just haven't heard it forever.
That was the remix, sorry.
I'm not wearing hockey pants.
Yeah, that's all I could find.
All right,
let's move on. Green Arrow said, forcing myself to open my eyes, I wake up with a huge hangover. First, I see aspirin and a glass of water next to me. When I sit up, I notice all my clothes are cleaned and pressed, and the room has also been cleaned. So was the rest of the house.
Sounds like cocaine.
Hangover. This is his hangover. He's just waking up. I notice a note on the table from my wife telling me that she's shopping and breakfast is on the table. Sure enough, there was a newspaper and a hot breakfast waiting for me. My son was also eating at the table, and I asked him what had happened last night. He told me that I had come home really drunk and delirious at 3 a.m. I had broken the furniture, puked all over the place, and given myself a black eye by mistakenly walking into a door. This confused me, and I asked him why everything was so clean and why there was breakfast waiting for me after I'd done all this. He told me that Mom, my wife, had dragged me to the bedroom and she tried to take my pants off, and I shouted, "Lady, get your hands off me." I'm married. Cute.
Why would everything be clean then?
Elston, the point of the story, lady, get your he thought some strange woman was taking his pants off.
Yeah.
He's that instinctually committed to not cheating.
Yeah.
And all women are afraid of men cheating. Just kidding.
Right. So those are all the winners?
No, that was the third one. Checks. I'm not going to play the whole thing. Checks Mixmaster, but nobody else submitted a hangover story. in the form of a song to the tune of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme.
In West Indiana, born and raised, in the cornfields where I spend most of my days. Chilling out, swilling down, drinks all cool and all, shooting some critters outside of the school when a couple of guys showed up with some bud.
That was pretty good. That was pretty good for no musical accompaniment. Just do it a cappella, great.
Oh, is that it? Is it ended?
That was his entry.
That's what I did.
Dare to be all that you can be.
I instinctually want to hate creative entries that are clearly a lie. Neocaf won. His entry was, me and my friends at the age of 8 got a hangover because we drank too much Code Red Mountain Dew the night before. We woke up to find out that we'd started a band, created a web page, made a song and music videos, which was us running around at a rave party. I guess we were on so much drugs we didn't care what we played for them. Anyway, after looking at the video, we realized the internet hates us. Oh well, here's what we did.
How did I know?
I hate forgetting about the song long enough for someone to be able to reference it without me knowing.
God damn it! It's so terrible.
We have Neocaf to blame now.
Why?
He's taking the blame because it's his fault. This is his hangover.
He said so.
Well, you not listening?
Go look up Blackout. That'll make you want to kill yourself.
Do you want to do game deals?
Let's go. All those people should what? Look for a message from the Games Radar prize pig?
They should message the Games Radar prize pig with their name and address. No, they have not messaged. Message the Games Radar prize pig, the guy who, the fucking pig character who started the forums. Hit PM, message him with your name and address. You have several days, I think 7, and then you forfeit your prize. Eat butt. The rest of you get ready to save money.
Take my advice, do as I say. Save a little money for a rainy day.
Yeah. Who's really wrong and always right?
Thank you. Newegg this week. Again, every single retailer who was worth the shit, and the great deals are coming at a mile a minute and for 24 hours only.
It's a lot.
And today, we're recording on a Wednesday. World Ends With You, Final Fantasy IV, and Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII were $9 on Amazon.
But aren't by the time this airs?
It will not be by the time this airs.
Jesus.
Which Chris found amazing enough to tweet this morning, and all I saw when I looked at my phone was, holy crap, World Ends.
Those Final Fantasy games, they never go down from $40.
Yeah, I mean, those Final Fantasy games are usually $39.99 DS games. They're $40 games, and
$9.
So basically, this is a reason to follow us all on Twitter.
Today on
Twitter,
Amazon.
Get on the Twitters.
Left 4 Dead today on Amazon.
First one?
All useless for
Left 4
you.
Dead 2, $40 on 360 and $30 on PC.
That it's Friday, bitches.
Yeah, now it's Friday, and it doesn't matter to you.
You gotta get on those Twitters.
But I did see that these Newegg ones lasted until Friday.
Through today, or?
They last until the 21st, actually.
Okay.
Newegg got Battle Fantasia, $9.99, 360. Sorry, Michael, sorry.
Oh, that's okay.
Guilty Gear 2 Overture, $9.99. Far Cry PS3, $14.99. Secret Agent Clank, $8.99. Also a game that rarely ever goes down in price.
Nah. Wow. That the PSP one?
Yeah.
That's a Newegg?
Yeah. And also I think that just came available at Newegg, Virtua Fighter 5 and Eat Lead Matt Hazard 360, $9.99.
Huh.
Matt Hazard on PS3 as well, $9.99. Free shipping, by the way. Kane and Lynch, $8.99. Disgaea DS. I didn't play, but I feel like I would enjoy a Disgaea game on my DS a little more than my PS3.
If you're going to buy a handheld Disgaea, the PSP ones are the best, for sure.
This is just the look and the music and
yeah,
stuff.
it all translates very well. Disgaea for DS is fine. Like, if that's the only way you can play it, it's still good. And for what's the price?
And fairness to why I put it on here, $15. DS games hate being $15.
Yeah.
They loathe it.
Yeah.
We will move on to other outlets. Valkyria Chronicles, $19 new at, guess where?
Amazon?
GameStop. GameStop, who never sells used games, or new games at any price that's worth buying them for. Little Big Planet and Gran Turismo are reportedly on sale for $10 at Kmart's. Michael's nodding. Doesn't pick up on audio. It's a good deal.
It's a strong nod, though. You can almost hear the nod.
It's a good deal, and if you're hearing this early,
I like to think people can hear the wind rushing by my mic.
Yeah, you can hear his brain working. if this deal will be going on for the remainder of the day once we post this. Kingdom Hearts, Spirit Tracks, and Mario Luigi 3 for DS.
Oh, it's so good.
$25. I already went. I couldn't find I couldn't find Spirit Tracks. It was sold out.
Oh yeah, we went to Target. It was gone. I haven't played Spirit Tracks yet, but I'm loving Bowser's Inside Story.
Me too. I loved it. Great game.
It is good.
Take my advice.
Skip to the end.
No fart sound? Usually ends with a fart sound. Hey.
What are you buying?
That takes us to...
Community segment.
Community
segment.
One of these days we'll have sound effects that take us between each segment.
I doubt it.
Never.
I doubt it.
Let's push for that in January, shall we?
I know that's been my only goal this month. It's been really fun having that as my only goal.
Question of the week last week in the forums. Gamesradar.com/forums. Was what's your most memorable boss fight to kind of coincide with the announcement of Mega Man 10 last week?
Should have said Ganon and Ocarina.
Yeah, Ganon and Ocarina and Ganon and Wind Waker was both like, oh right, that was really cool.
They're phenomenal boss battles.
Yeah. But we all mentioned ours last week. Tyler, you weren't here. Do you remember anything offhand?
Don't say Ganon.
Boss battle?
It's stupid.
Good.
But Star Fox 64.
I did mention Star Fox 64 last week.
Oh, really?
The giant hand guy?
Which boss?
I just remember the last boss with the hands.
Oh, okay.
Like, I can't say it was good, but it was really memorable.
Right.
I just remember his voice booming at me as his hands are flying.
I mentioned like the Independence Day level where like the ship flies over the pyramid and blows it up.
Right. Anyway.
Breener96 from the forums, Metal Gear Rex. That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a very strong one. Hobo Jesse mentioned Lavos from Chrono Trigger, and I liked it because that's kind of the embodiment of all those great RPG, just knockdown, drag-out fights that you barely pull through. Like, you're just, like, for me, it was like Final Fantasy IX, and there was a boss in Chrono Cross where it's like, I felt like I was fighting that guy for over an hour and a half, and just, like, barely staying alive, and then just, like, finding a way to keep the characters going, and then finally winning, and it really felt like you accomplished something. And Lavos is one of those bosses for sure. E. Schultze carelessly spoiled the ending of Ty the Tasmanian Tiger. I can't even go into it.
Man, I was gonna totally go back and play that.
You'll have to read the thread. I can't even begin. Tater Boo posted pictures of Ridley and then just tried to type the sound of the Ridley man. Which is a joke from an old show most of you
Good
probably,
callback.
most of you get. I'd like to point out Ridley is never a final boss in any game, except maybe Fusion.
Nerd.
But he did then point out Anubis from Zone of the Enders 2, which I don't know if anyone played any Zone of the Enders games.
I did.
I did.
Was not much of a fan, honestly.
I played it, though.
Ravenbaum, Soul Blazer, the last boss, which I'm only mentioning because that is Enix post-Actraiser, and
look for me at the Big and Tall outlet this weekend. We'll be selling Soul Blazers for 25% off.
Soul Blazer uses all the sound effects from Actraiser. It is literally Enix was
wow.
It's identical. It's all the sound. Whatever. Gur Snort, Wind Waker Ganon, Dork of Mordork just signed up to talk about Tartarus from Halo 2, which was one of the big Elite, the big ape dudes in Halo 2.
I don't think anything that happened in that game is important.
Major Cockflex. I'm sure we all remember the dinosaur at the end of Sonic Adventure Battle 2.
I certainly do.
Ah, man, what a memorable moment that
what a
was.
rush.
The Grey Ghost
Lost my virginity to that boss.
Yeah.
Right when I was playing it.
Sure you don't mean Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
That's what I said.
No, you said Sonic Adventure Battle 2.
Whatever. The Grey Ghost mentioned, and I'm surprised, right when this happened, I'm like, oh yeah, Alma from Ninja Gaiden. The weird pink girl that flies around the room, super difficult. Stoned Magician obviously mentioned a good one, the Colossus from God of War 2, the beginning, first boss you fight. Gears of Rabies' favorite Mega Man boss, Chill Penguin. Which is kind of the lamest of all the bosses, except for Sheep Man, which just showed up in Mega Man 10, but whatever.
He's a science.
I also saw lots of Persona 3 and 4 mentions, General Ram from Gears, Sephiroth, and obviously a lot of Shadow of the Colossus mentions, because every boss is really memorable. Ezekiel Zero mentioned one of those. And I also have a story from Jack Skellington's Skin. I was about 6 years old at the time. I had started playing the game in this case being Lion King for Super Nintendo. Lion King. It stops. I had started playing the game early in the morning. I was too young to understand passwords, so I began the game anew every day. I was a couple hours in when my best friend and his family came by. Him, his brother, and sister were all crying. His sister had coughed a lot of blood that morning and had been sent to the hospital with a strong chance she was going to die. I didn't know what to do. You're not going to like how this story ends. I didn't know what to do, so I just kept playing Lion King. Obviously, none of them were in any mood to do anything, so we just talked while playing Lion King. Eventually, they went home without any news about what happened or what was going on. A few hours later, when I was fighting Scar, who was the last boss of Lion King.
Difficult.
My mom comes home to tell me my friend did not make it. I gave up on Scar and went to bed. I don't remember ever facing Scar again, but the Lion King was always reminding me of my dead friend.
Do a barrel roll.
Tasteful man.
Oh, man, you.
All I'm saying, you posted it in the forums. I have to read it.
You have to read it with a man and soundboard.
Let's do it. What's the new question of the week?
The new question of the week. My heart goes out for your friend.
Oh, me too.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Question 66, the new question of the week. Go to GamesRadar.com/forums. I didn't ask you, buddy.
All right.
Go have sex in a floating owl head. Hallelujah. Question.
Floating owl head?
But Brett, I'm not wearing hockey pants.
You are silly. You are the living end.
Incorrigible.
Question of the week, 66, and this is an obvious. It's the last podcast of the year. What do you think the question's going to be? GamesRadar.com/forums. Talk Radar Podcast. Let us know. Question 66, what is your game of the year? Get your fucking finger off the button. It's enough. Sonic.
It's never enough.
So, what do you? Their favorite game?
Your game of the year.
So on their list, it would rank as
number one.
Yeah, I can still do this. I still got it.
All right.
Can it be a game I haven't played?
No, it can't. Because it can't possibly be your game of the year.
Now I have to admit that I've played so few games this year.
Well, let's go.
Oh, are we going now?
Yes.
Easily, I got to write about it in the Platinum Chalice Awards, but Retro Game Challenge.
Really? That's your game of the year?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because, in case you don't know what it is, it's your little kid sent back. You're a grown man sent back in time in the 80s to play old games, and all the old games that are based off of real games are great, and you're given these tiny little, basically, achievements before you can pass on to the next game.
Yeah.
The last boss, if you wanted to play, if you want to finish it, you have to finish all the games.
Right.
I finished all the games. It wasn't even an issue for me. Like, it's kind of like you can move on, or you can finish this one last challenge, finish all the games.
I got stuck on Rally King or whatever
I loved Rally King.
The track,
loved Rally King.
Truck racing.
Perfect.
I thought it was the weakest part of the game, and then they make you do it again with the special edition.
Yeah, the idea that I would have to do it again. But I love the idea that it wasn't just you play games, it's you are a kid.
Yeah.
And you actually read old game magazines.
You're forced to read game magazines.
Yes, you have to read the old game magazines, and that used to be the only way we found out about anything about video games.
And
was
I know
the magazines.
I had to write about it, and that's hard to make sound like a feature. I'm like, yeah, it's hard to make walking around an RPG town talking to people for information and evidence.
Yeah.
How do you make that sound exciting? But it happens every RPG that comes out.
Yeah, but I mean, this has the nostalgia factor.
Yeah.
I remember putting my issue of Nintendo Power in my backpack
Yes.
and taking it to school exciting, like, oh my god.
This will only work so many times. Their next game is going to be like 16-bit and some Master System stuff. Like, this is all clearly NES.
NES and Famicom
inspired.
Stuff. It's just like it really.
I think every game there is completely playable in its own right.
Yeah,
you won't realize how short they are until you play them without in the confines of the headmaster asking you to do stuff.
I love
They're really short, and they're really good. They're really well made, and they're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Retro Game Challenge.
It's really good, and I like it because it's in the Platinum Chalice Awards this year. It was the old school kick in the ass, like the really good throwing it back kind of game, and I really loved the idea of it. It kind of validates our own childhood
I think it validates who we are right now.
Yeah, that who we are right now. Like it showed us that even when we were kids and
it made those games important, and it made the magazines we now write for important.
Yeah. I don't know.
It made us feel like we were part of something.
Yeah, which is part of the reason I hate the VGAs.
It's not. Yeah, it's not that it makes it feel. It just exalts and celebrates what we thought was amazing.
And the VGAs, on the other hand, take it and
VGAs
try
are
to sell shit.
for people who started playing in the PS2 generation.
It sounds like started playing with fucking Halo 2 is by how fucking short by how short-minded everything is.
And I know we're there, but like I'm kind of tired of. Like I said, I'm tired of Super Mario Brothers 1 references. That's not going to work for me anymore. I don't care if I hear a remix of that music. But this was way better than that.
I need more specific things like, wow, you and 80 million people played Mario
Brothers. What should have sucked, like a little kid, like they're crawling around their living room floor and talking during the game, and it's unskippable.
Yeah.
But it's all conversations I had 1,000 times. We all talk about it. Remember that when we talked about it, like the Konami code, like no, dude, it starts select start. Like that, they have that conversation.
You get 30 men.
Yeah, exactly. In front of your eyes, they have this conversation.
Man, that tape is so great.
That tape. God, I had a friend who called them tapes up through high school. They're like, you got any Super Nintendo tapes? Like, dude, I'm 17. I know they're not tapes, so do you.
Yeah. Were you ever so bad that you actually insisted on calling them game packs?
Oh, God, no.
I had never actually heard tapes.
Nintendo was really insistent in Nintendo Power to call them game packs.
Yeah.
With a K, just a K.
Cartridges.
They're carts.
Oh, I remember Pack Watch.
Pack Watch, yeah.
Or keep bugging Slate. You got to bring that back.
Pack Watch back.
You got to bring it back.
The Nintendo Power. Anyone else? Michael, Game of the Year, you.
For me, it's a toss-up between Damnation and Leisure Suit Larry.
He's
Box
lying.
Office Buzz.
Michael is lying.
And having an orangutan shove red-hot acorns up my ass.
That's a fun game.
Yeah, it is. No, actually, it's a toss-up between Uncharted 2 and Assassin's Creed 2. Probably Assassin's Creed 2. That's the game I most genuinely loved this year.
Really?
Yeah.
The whole year?
The whole year.
All right.
And Arkham Asylum.
I can't. I didn't.
I don't know. I
didn't play one or two.
It's conventional. There was a lot of good shit this year.
Yeah, there was.
Especially at the end. Got through all of it.
I mean, obviously, all of us who played Arkham Asylum
I am
will probably throw Arkham Asylum
I
in
was
there.
trying
We gave
to
a Game of the Year today.
I'm trying to pick something weird
I
and,
know.
and different, but I loved Assassin's Creed 2 and I loved Arkham Asylum. And
Tyler, do you want me to go so you can think more, or do you?
I can go.
What's your Game of the Year?
Modern Warfare 2.
It's been a... Shut the fuck up, you cunt.
What did you say?
It's been a kind of a crazy year for me. I really haven't had a chance to finish a lot of games, and there are two games that come to mind. One is Modern Warfare 2.
Ooh, who called it?
I played a lot of. I happen to really like the Call of Duty series, so it's kind of a given that I'll enjoy it.
Yeah.
I thought the campaign was good. I imagine if I played Assassin's Creed 2 or Uncharted 2, or Arkham Asylum, I might think differently. I didn't get to a lot of big games this year.
Well, I mean, the multiplayer of Modern Warfare 2 is as fun as you would expect.
Yeah, and there are lots of things I can complain about, but I just happen to... Warfare multiplayer, competitive multiplayer is my favorite thing about games. It has been since Quake 2.
Right.
I am always doing that. And then the other game I think of is silly, but I really loved Plants vs. Zombies. I can't lie.
Yeah.
It was a super fun game, and it was just full of that PopCap polish, where I just love that the help menu is written by a zombie trying to convince you to let them into your house. I'm just that's so great. They really. For a casual game studio, they take the time to make casual games for hardcore gamers.
Yeah. Well, PopCap did Peggle, and they also did fucking Gyromancer, which is PopCap and Square Enix together make this amazing. Gyromancer is
I believe we have an award.
It's a puzzle game that will kick your stupid ass. It's amazing. I think Gyromancer is really
it's
cool.
maybe not because it's. I mean, compared to other games we talk about, like Uncharted or whatever, yes, Plants vs. Zombies is not that big of a release, but I think what they're doing is really cool.
Yeah,
they're making really fun games, and that's all they're focusing on is how fun can we make this, and it's really fun.
My Game of the Year, I mean, obviously Arkham Asylum, we gave it Game of the Year, and I was really taken with that, and I looked forward to just coming home every day and playing that and getting every secret. I think Tyler had to suffer through me.
When I was sleeping on your couch,
I just... hey, look, it's Batman punching people in the ass. Isn't this funny?
It was torture during the busy period. That game took me 2 months to finish.
Yeah.
Even though I would play it in long sittings.
Yeah, I
could never go back
just
to
as someone who I love a good comic book game, and as someone who reads comics regularly, and
It's very rewarding.
To see it done not just well, but like dead on, and even the gameplay problems, you can argue how much they impact the game. Whatever, some of them didn't bother me at all. Some of them obviously pissed a lot of people off. The butt punching is hilarious.
It's really funny.
But just the idea that they got that so right. But on a personal level, it's very easily Street Fighter 4. That came out in I think February, and I played it almost every day for months upon months, even up till, I guess, this holiday rush. I was playing it regularly still. I played it all the way, even up through August and September, I was still playing it. And it got me completely back into the scene, and I bought special controllers and practiced watched videos, read up on threads, talking to Seth from Capcom all the time, like, okay, so my Blanca, I don't know, I'm trying to figure out how to really take my Blanca to the next level and figure out what I can do. And like, I took that shit seriously. I watched the EVO tournament finals live streaming all weekend in July. In Vegas, and I really want to go there next year and just be there for it. And like, it's the first time I've been that into anything in years, where like, when I'm not playing it, I'm reading about it and taking what I read into the next time I play and really considering about how I play. I don't know. And then actually in April, I went to in San Francisco. They had the championship match with like all these world-class players, and actually being in an audience with all these people who take it just as seriously, and they're all cheering and yelling and clapping and oh my god every time somebody reverses a combo or pulls off an ultra. It's just like with that level of energy, like there's no other game that gets that kind of thing going. Like even a first-person shooter, it's like it's too fast, and if there's too many people involved, like you could never televise a first-person shooter match, because there's too much going on and it's too fast.
There's just too many players.
Yeah, and there's too many players. But a Street Fighter match, that shit to me is like more impressive to watch than a fucking Super Bowl and the last shot of the NBA Finals. Like those Street Fighter matches on a tournament level, it's just like mind-blowing, split-second reactions. And Street Fighter 4 just encapsulated all of that to me. And
all right, Brett Obseston.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to justify my choice now because I'm the only one who didn't.
I fucking loved 4 to death, and I'll play Super Street Fighter 4 even more. Well, not even more, but I
keep it down, Brabcom.
They did it. They did it so right. No, you used to be in that scene. You know what I'm talking about. It's the fighting game scene.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about.
I absolutely know. I know. He might be listening. But this is a testament. New girlfriend hates games. He had to quit fighting games because Street Fighter 4 drew him back in.
Right. It was so well done. And anyone who plays that game and says it's just mashing on buttons, you're wrong forever.
Yeah.
You'll be wrong about everything for the rest of your life. Because if you think that's mashing on buttons, you don't know what physical interactions
Take
are.
that shit to Budokai.
Here's the thing. I love Street Fighter, and for me, it is still mashing on buttons. I am one of those players who always relies on Fierce and Roundhouse, and will probably get my ass kicked if I ever go up against someone serious.
But you know it's more than that.
Yeah, I do know.
Yeah. That's the difference.
But I just don't have the patience to memorize all those fucking combos.
No, yeah, I
don't want to play on that level.
Yeah, no, I don't. No, I'm behind anyone who wants to play it, but anyone who just says like it's just stupid button mashing.
No.
And there's no skill involved.
No,
it's like,
retarded.
wow, that's like saying there's no skill in chess. Anyone can do it.
But yeah, my strategy is always either go berserk or turtle.
Turtle. Fucking turtles. Footsies, Street Fighter terminology. Let's do it. I would like
Ask a games journalist?
Ask a games journalist really quick.
Am I a games journalist?
Theoretically.
I haven't done any journalism this year.
Well, you're in luck because that's the question that's being asked this week. In the gamesradar.com/forums, there's a thread. Ask a games journalist. Gooch Biscuit wants to know.
Already invalidated.
Gooch Biscuit wants to know, what are your sources for news? Do games journalists have their own contacts within the industry that provide their site with news? Or
I have the answer.
Hang on. Or is it all done with press releases? Or is the news guy just seeing something noteworthy on another site and reposting it with a link?
Nope.
Let's find out, shall
Here's
we?
what happens. News will be posted via a press release.
Yes.
Occasionally there'll be an exclusive given by another company. And occasionally they'll post a rumor based on things other sites have posted for over a day. And it has to be at a certain volume before it gets posted as a news story on a normal outlet.
Yep.
There is no journalism here, people.
There's very little, especially when it comes to news, because these are massive companies with huge properties that make them lots of money, and unlike what I would call real reporting, where you have a beat and you work your sources and you come up with stories through your own literally through your own merit, you make the story come to life. These are controlling.
We report on companies.
Yeah,
What
you
are we
report
gonna
on
do?
company. Like, I mean, you can't just.
Even the FBI can't get in their doors. Like,
like they're private companies. You can't. There's only so much you can do. You can have personal contacts. Like, we all know people at these companies on a personal level. Like, hey, I could email them tomorrow and ask, hey, what's going on? They could maybe tell me off the record, and if I went and said that, I'd burn that bridge, and I'd get them in trouble, and I'd get myself in trouble, because now my company will probably never be able to buy ads from
It's
them.
not even trouble. It's just I slowly learned there's no
sell
benefit
ads to them.
Sell ads.
There's no benefit to that. It's just it's kind of a slight. What would you call that? I'm going to make a slight inflammatory article. It's going to set the internet ablaze for about 4 hours.
Yeah, and the internet will forget.
In terms of why. Like, ultimately, whatever happens to this net company isn't all that important. What's important is that the game they're making.
Yeah. So yeah, there's not a lot of news in that regard. That's organic. Like, occasionally you will see people doing actual journalism.
Yes.
Where they
there's plenty of actual journalism, but none of it involves news.
Sometimes it does. Like, people will put 2 and 2 together, like this statement, and they'll be like, wait, they said this, and they said this, and both of these are factual statements.
Was the dumbass Kingdom Hearts thing I did, would that be considered journalism?
What's that?
If Final Fantasy is the end of Kingdom Hearts? Or I just put all that shit together?
Or speculation.
Disney's eggs are now in this basket.
I mean, that's speculation, but if it turns out to be true, then it's kind of like...
It was based on a fuck ton of research and citations.
Yeah, it was great
well,
stuff.
research and citations to me
was not well written.
But even if it's not well written, research and cited works kind of counts as journalism.
And
but reporting on what a press release says and even spinning it and saying, we think this is good, I don't really count that as journalism. You're reacting to news. You're not reporting the news.
About the sources, there are industry websites where everyone in the industry goes to find press releases where they're aggregated.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal. It's just a bunch of press releases.
Yeah, I mean, you
Who
can
cares?
always, we could do it, Kotaku could do it, Capcom announces Mega Man 10. Oh my god, news!
I was really...
But it came from Capcom. It didn't come from, some guy, hey, this guy just told me they're making Mega Man 10. News break! Mega Man 10 announced. No,
kept
that was...
very, very silent for longer than... I'm almost impressed.
Yeah, that was very good on them. But it's always a calculated release, except, very on the rare circumstance where something is genuinely leaked. And then that's not even journalism. That's some guy took a picture on a camera phone and posted it on NeoGAF.
I read something through an IM from somebody else about
no
Russian. No, somebody I didn't know, and I got it confirmed.
Oh, right.
And there wasn't any way for me to
that there was a level where you shoot civilians
that existed. Like, I had it confirmed, but what do I do with it?
Yeah, what do you do with that?
What do I do?
Post
Do you
a story?
really, not even do you want to know? Like, wouldn't you rather be surprised? I could have gotten clearance for it, but why would I want to make an effort to post a spoiler?
Yeah, it's like, hey, did you know in Iron Man 2 there's a scene where Tony Stark whatever, and it's like, I don't want to know that yet. The movie's not coming out for 6 months. I'd prefer to just see
we're not investigating society or politics or anything like that. Stuff where it's open-ended, you can come up with conclusions, you can interview people and find out about shit. It's just, this is what they've said.
It always comes down to, is
happened.
this Pirates of the Caribbean good?
Yeah, exactly.
I think about the closest that we've come, or at least that I've come to reporting real news in a sudden fashion was when we were seeing GTA 4 a couple of years ago, and the PR coordinator at the time for Rockstar, no longer PR coordinator, let slip. I asked him, it's like, well, okay, you're doing these exclusive episodes for the 360. Do you have anything planned for the PS3 that is exclusive to that platform as a consolation prize? It's like, no, if you want the complete experience, get it on 360. Yep, reported that.
As a news story?
Yeah, and that kind of briefly set things ablaze a little bit.
Yeah, and I mean that's a case where you were interviewing a person. You actually asked a question and you pushed him for information. That's journalism.
Mm-hmm.
Just reporting what the press release said, that doesn't count.
No.
So there are instances where people actually do use their sources to get information.
Yeah, interviews are probably the most journalism-y this industry gets.
But and that's a rare case that he actually got to say that, because most of the time these people are primed so well and briefed.
And he wasn't supposed to say that is the thing.
Yeah. And he probably got in serious shit.
I heard later that.
But I'd love to yell at all the PR people for that, because their sole goal is to interpret press releases to us and keep the information they don't want out away from us. I have created a creative product for the holiday special. I don't want any of you motherfuckers knowing shit about it.
Right.
And I'm trying to protect it as much as possible.
Right. And I agree with it, because I know what it is, and I'm like, I agree.
Brett would like to tell you what's there.
Yeah, but I don't. I think everyone will genuinely enjoy it when they hear it.
It would matter more if you hear it the second you hear it.
Download it next Wednesday. It's a treat.
There you go.
Pass it along to your friends.
That's what I'm doing next week, by the way.
Next week, let's see, teases for next week when we get out of here. The Platinum Chalice Awards posted today. That's our end of the year awards. Please check those out. Everyone in the office contributed. Everyone in the office. Everyone except Henry.
What does his gay RPG shit get cut? Did we not want to report on the biggest happenings on the DS? You hear me, Hank? Get mad! Get mad! We'll have another Hank's Corner.
Yeah, Henry did post a best on the DS this year, a separate article that went up this week. And next week, Charlie and I are on the same flight back to Illinois.
That is so weird. Are you really wearing the mask?
I'm wearing a mask.
Are you really wearing a mask?
Yes, one of those little masks to block out germs.
I thought you said you were just kidding.
No, I'm wearing it.
Why?
Because I get sick every time I fly home for Christmas.
It's a cold. Deal with it.
No.
Deal with it. Sniffle.
No, not a cold. I get sick to where the point I have to go to the doctor and get antibiotics every year.
You know how to deal. You're not equipped to deal with pain, and that's okay.
Dude,
and that's
I gotta get into this. From a place that gets that average high is the average high is 10. I know what sick is.
Wear your douche mask, whatever.
Yeah.
I will be so healthy. It'll be awesome.
Go ahead.
Next week, posting the Chalice today, and the next week I'm just contributing to several articles. You'll see posting over the week. We're all out of the office.
Year-end.
A year-end decade ablation.
Year-end times 10.
Year-end times 10.
Yeah.
Be sure to check Radar the whole last week of the year. Every day we're going to have articles about the end of the decade.
And a podcast on the 23rd or 24th.
23rd.
Well, that's where I scheduled it. I'm not sure it'll be done.
What's everyone else doing? Michael, what are you posting next week?
Bunch of year-end award shit. And also a thing on looking back at what? What's funny?
Year-end shit and then the thing looking back. It's like
also a thing looking back on an article we posted back in January.
Yeah, of this
basically
year.
saying, "Hey, we were right, internet. Fuck
we
you.
Were so right.
Fuck you up the internet."
I also like to tease Charlie's Batman Arkham Asylum 2 trailer dissection on Games Radar.
That was terrible.
The
that was
features
good.
tab.
It's awful.
It was awesome.
It was terrible.
It was the most
It
thorough.
was awesome.
He's not here to defend it. Let's make fun of Charlie. Perfect Charlie.
Charlie will not be wearing a surgical mask on the plane.
He won't. And I guarantee he'll be less sick than you when it's all over.
Joker looked like Gabriel Knight in makeup in all those shots.
Tyler, what are you doing next week? You're posting some stuff.
Easter.
Oh, we're going to try and ship all the stuff we can. Right?
I'm sorry, guys. If you want a contest, it'll be on its way to you as a Christmas surprise.
Hopefully you'll get it before the end of your break.
Yeah. It's...
Because you're all in school.
It is being shipped. And I'm writing something about Easter.
Easter, which is very timely.
Don't you think that's strange? Wait till you see it.
Probably one of my favorite dumbass headlines ever.
Yeah, it's literally one of those articles where we're like, this headline is too stupid not to write an article about it.
I don't even care what the content is.
Does enough work? It really looks like there's going to be enough criteria to work with this dumb headline. We have to do it.
I do hope there is.
That's 82.
And I'm contributing to everything, of course.
Yeah. Be sure to check out the last week of Radar, the last week of the year. Also, we won't be here, but January 1st, there's supposedly some big video that the UK guys are posting, which features all of us in the room.
Yeah. Oh, God, that's embarrassing.
Potentially embarrassing, so be sure you look at Radar on January 1st.
Yeah. I'm wearing a power glove the whole interview.
I am basically looking like an absolute idiot.
I am madly fidgeting with my wedding ring.
I wore a shirt of the wrong color, and my lapel mic had to be tagged inside my body.
I
had to rub up against my chest hair.
I had to wear mine inside the
hurt.
shirt too.
Yeah.
I had mine sticking out of a buttonhole.
If I had to describe 2009 in one word,
perfect.